Well, that was really super smooth and professional. Halfway through that, I realized that for whatever reason, it didn't have um, the channel live. Like, it didn't turn on the YouTube feed. It was like, you're live on no channels. Like, what? Huh? What? I was like,
Oh God! Oh God! What
while
do
it
we
was
do?
starting to play, I was like, where's the button for that? Because I thought it was automatic. But I really had a hell of a time setting this up when I set it up, so it was weird. But nonetheless, hey, welcome to Brewing
Hey,
Controversy for the only second time in the year, I think.
it's only the second time in like 6 months.
Well, whatever. It was second time
Yeah.
on this platform, which is, why I can't fucking do. Um,
No,
anyway,
it's like the fifth or sixth time on this platform.
no, I'm pretty sure we only had like maybe one or two others.
No,
Yeah, it
we did a few
was.
on this platform. Anyway, so for those of you wondering why all of a sudden all our shit has been so inconsistent and so far apart, part of it is, yeah, we need to figure out this platform shit because it's taking up way too much of our time and effort to play around with this. So that's why we wanted to do this show before our subscription to this platform ended, so we can figure out another
What do we want to
platform.
do
Yeah,
next?
how do we want to do this next? Because this isn't working that well for us, and how things in the
Well,
modern world work.
also, we both ended up with very busy lives professionally that were also very incompatible before both becoming free range cynics, I guess is what you would say.
We're back on COVID time.
Yeah. And also, I don't know what the fuck this thing is doing with the channel thing. Like it's got a totally different stream on now instead of the one that was scheduled. Clearly, like some pro user issues that I don't have command of. But
Yeah.
anyway,
So this is part of why we're having to rethink this.
we're taking a hiatus after this and figuring out what we really want to do. But we thought it'd be really fun to do
Brewing
this.
contra- yeah.
Just everybody show up and bullshit about whatever's current with no real eye on the clock necessarily. Really trying to just catch up because David and I don't talk to each other enough or see each other enough anyway. And then like not having the time to do anything.
Yep.
Where if he like most of the time in the past, I guess 8 to 9 months, if I was asleep, you were awake. If I was awake, you were asleep, and one of us was always at work.
Yeah.
That's basically the summary. And
Yeah.
so, if we venture into something like an audio concept, perhaps, we can do that in like a different way, like when like whenever the fuck, instead of let's schedule a thing and let's make sure people come and do the thing. And so, yeah, a little easier that way. I am going to ask you for a quick Nashville politics update. As soon as I get people in. So if I look like I'm distracted when I bring the folks that are here in, there's a reason, because I'm going to go tell people where the fuck this is happening now, because it apparently has betrayed me and decided that it's not going to stream in the original spot. So anyway, let's do that right now. We got a couple friends of the show. The friends of the show thing was the whole thing. Like, we were going to people just come and go and hang out and chit chat and catch up. And I've got a little show notes list that I can refer to see, what do we want to say, what do we want to be sure we're talking about. But it's kind of hard to ignore all the crazy shit that is already in the headlines anyway. So I'm going to get the intro out of the way, and I'm going to pull in first. Never on the show yet, Brandon is here. So what's up? Welcome. We have recently discussed, right before we came on, that you might very well have been the person that thought of this name, and we decided, you know what, we're going to give him credit for that. So when I asked some folks, like, what should I call something like this, I believe you may be right that suggestion came from you. It's been a long time. Dave and I have had a lot of beers since then. So, anyway, since you've never been here, tell people kind of where you sit in the bubble, and I don't know, just a one-off like elevators pitch of
Sure. I think from your perspective, I'm your leftist extremist friend. Like way too far to the left. I don't see it that way.
Far more.
I would say, yeah, I'm certainly more to the left than you guys. But one thing I do want to say up front, I think that at the end of the day, even though we've shared some unkind words at times, I think we are all on the same team, right? So I want to make sure we're all clear on that. Like,
I may have accused you of sucking unicorn teat before, but
I don't even remember that one. But if I could, I would, just because how many people have done that?
True. Very true. I found a setting. David, I found a setting under auto gain control. See if you can find it. It's under advanced. I'm turning mine off because it looks like it's making us fluctuate.
Okay.
So fucking weird. I mean, I'm sure it's actually a really good platform, but we're not used to it yet. All right, next up. I didn't think he's gonna show up. We're getting a full spectrum of history here. Brian's with us, the Stoner King. As we've done this over the last couple of years or whatever, Brian would bring us our alternate substance updates with whatever he was eating or smoking.
Yeah.
So good to see you, man. And Brian fits into the recovering Republican category. Fair to say. A proud independent thinker. And somebody who I've really appreciated watching evolve. I'm sure I've evolved too. But the two of us used to stand in the middle of a retail store when there weren't customers and we were bored, and advocate and arm wrestle for Team Clinton and Team Newt, respectively. And now all of it sounds fucked up.
Them were the days, right there. I tell you, things have definitely changed, and changed for the better too. Hey, can you hear me okay with this?
It's decent. It's
okay.
If you've got it. Well, actually, hold on. I can boost you a little. There we go.
Probably it's not ideal. We just drove up today. I'm up in the mountains of North Carolina right now, up in North Wilkesboro.
I actually know where that is.
Yeah, right there near the Speedway. We drove up from the Tampa area this morning, so about 640 miles behind me today. Needless to say, I am tuckered out. But
I bet.
I didn't want to miss the opportunity to say hi to you guys, especially on this momentous occasion and with all the momentous crap that's happening all around us. It's been a hell of a roller coaster ride the last few days, hasn't it?
It's weird, man. It's super weird. So let's go around the screen. I want David, because I think this is gonna bring Brandon, your part of the conversation, in pretty well while I go poke around and tell people where we really live. Afton Bain and Tennessee politics at the moment. Fascinating, but in the actual town where Brian and I no longer are, how's that reading, David and Brandon? And throw that around for a minute, because there's like national NPR now. Like it's a story that matters coast to coast now.
I'm not gonna lie, I am currently looking up Afton Bain because I won't lie. I'm like, what?
Wait, I can speak to it. This is something I follow a bit.
Maybe you're not in the right district. I don't know if in the pizza slice. I don't know if you're in the right place to care. Actually, are you, Brandon?
He's probably not. Here's the thing: I got gerrymandered out of her district.
Oh.
I can literally walk across the street and be in the district.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, and the neighborhood that I'm in is one of the few in the area that have generally elected more Democratic people to the school board. So not a surprise that we got left out of that district.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, I mean, that's one of the true parts of how this has gone, because now I'm in District 7.
I mean, that's the correct one if you're in 7. If we're talking House Republican or House districts, because there's like 10 different districts, it gets confusing.
Well, there's 13. I mean,
Well, no. I mean, like different types of districts, not how many
yeah.
districts do we have in the House.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, Andy Ogles is my representative, much to my fucking dismay and disgrace. And unfortunately, because of the way it's gerrymandered, with the majority of Franklin being in my district now, it's
You're probably in 5. I'm in 5, but I was in 7 until they gerrymandered it. So it's been very confusing.
It keeps on moving around. And again, that's part of it is that they keep on jerking us around so that they can feel like Democrats don't have any chance to adjust position and fight back, because unfortunately, given the quality of representative, people like Desjardins, Democrats have a and I'm not calling him Desjardins. I don't care what it's Democrats should have a chance in a lot of these districts, but by constantly putting everyone on their toes about what district they're going to be in, especially at the borders, it makes it so that it breaks up any sort of resistance to their incumbency. So no one can really kind of get no one can really get their feet under them in terms of, oh well, because it shifts just like they'll be like, oh no, yes, this is the map, and then they'll move like polling places. They've moved my polling place 4 times.
One thing I will mention that I think makes this a more interesting race is you'd be surprised, maybe not, but I would be surprised if I hadn't already looked into this, just how many soybean farms there are in District 7, which is now the Afton-Bain district. So you already have the kind of anti-Trump sentiment happening right now. But I feel like
I can imagine.
Yeah, rural farmers in Tennessee, I think in particular, have been especially screwed. So I think they're more willing to go a little against the grain from what they've been doing in the past. But...
Well, and I'm going to say, like, even in my district, one thing that's happened is now there is growing pushback, because now the developers are really coming for and I in my own way, I don't mind, because a lot of these have turned into, quite frankly, hobby farms. On my side of the city, when I'm being honest, like when I see the signs up and down Natchez Trace being like, "Oh, we don't want Rochefort development," fuck off. This is a hobby farm. This is you. I mean, you are not legitimately making money raising horses where you are. This is you want to play farmer on on 1 or 2 acres of land, where, of course, the development, what's being proposed for development is, hey, you've got 1 to 2 acres, I can put 500 houses on that.
Oh boy!
And so, the problem is that they get upset that they feel like their hobby farms are being taken away. But further out at the edge of my district, there is growing fight from people who have been running at least semi-functioning farms. About the developers coming in, especially with the help of very permissive county commissions. And for our Michigan viewers who don't understand how that works in Tennessee, we have 97 goddamn counties.
We have a lot of counties.
Yeah, but I mean, really, your county is like 2 or 3 of your townships thrown together.
It depends. Some of them are enormous. There's 83 of them. But they vary in size.
All of ours are pretty small.
No, they vary in size. The UP has like
ridiculous. Yeah, you have to remember, Michigan is like a third again as big as ours, and again it has 83 counties. And we have 97, and we're 2/3 the size. It's so a lot of these county commissions have become very permissive over the past couple of decades about development, especially in places like Sumner and Coffee counties.
Well, what else are they going to do? They keep fighting making weed legal. So what the fuck are you going to do with all that extra space? The resident expert in the corner.
They learned a little. At least in Florida, at least they do one thing half-ass right. I got to give them credit for that. I mean, I'm even so far as looking for a place to escape to, in case that the America does lose its mind and they don't get rid of him. And I'm thinking to myself, where in the hell could we possibly go? And I tell you, man, Florida does make it kind of easy in some aspects, and at least that's one. I defer. Go ahead. Excuse me.
Right. Also, I'm trying to keep an eye on the comments. So I'm not name, but whoever Lightning Helix is, hello, hi, welcome to the show. And we are only doing YouTube now with this, which we thought that would be the thing to do with this, but obviously due to those time constraints that we mentioned earlier. But I've taken more of an interest in that audio side of things as a possible future thing. So we'll see what happens, but the point is in the moment. But, before we can continue the moment, I need to wet my whistle. Let me also throw a link to somebody else. All right, cool. Beer. We need to drink beer because there's one sitting here that I can't open for a very specific reason. So I haven't been able to start drinking it. David may have one already open that he can still talk about, but I've got to hold mine closed for a very important purpose.
I mean, I'm just gonna drink regardless. So I've been, I've been.
Oh no, I'm gonna cover up Brian. We're not using that.
I've been sipping on some of your homebrew here.
Oh, okay. All right. You got yourself a little.
I'm not drinking tonight because
Well, yeah.
I do have a good beer story for you, especially if anyone's fans of like Top Gear or the Grand Tour.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
Well, hold on. Let's talk beer real quick so I can be drinking while you tell this story. So, David, I'm going to selfishly start with mine first because of what I've got with the can. Because I can't. I want to turn my can upside down, so I can't do this until I do that. I'll do that.
Is it New Holland? Is it a New Holland beer?
No, it's not. It is Ulterior Motive, which is, oh, look, I can use the graphic as long as I have a caption because then it moves everybody up. That's cute. So this is a brewery that I didn't know anything about, but I Googled breweries with good food on the way back from Madison, Wisconsin on a road trip during employment and stopped at this place in Chicago, kind of in the burbs. It was kind of in an area that really felt like that Cool Springs vibe for the Nashville folks. To explain Cool Springs to Grand Rapids folks, it would be an extremely compressed Rockford, or Rockford and Ada had a mutant baby. And for the rest of you, Ada's where Amway is from. Alter Brewing, the reason I really wanted to do this before I opened it, they've got this really cool logo that does this whole upside down, it's the same thing. And I thought that was a lot of fun. And I figured there's probably a lot of people in that brewery that are, beyond their limit looking at that logo at some point in the night. But I really like it. It's also one of my favorite designs in a minute. All the cans are. It's got a textured label. It's a real custom label, which is nice. But you just get this metallic ink on the copper. I mean, it's just a really nice design. So it made me want to buy, and I did. As far as the beer goes, it's an IPA. I believe it's their flagship. It is a 7%, so it's a little more than the average. But I really enjoyed it when I tried it in the place, and I thought that'd be a good one. They're both actually from my road trip to Madison, so I think the other one might be actually from Wisconsin. We'll get to that later. But anyway, cheers, everybody. It's a good, full, not terribly thick, but good IPA. It's got the citrusy, piney thing going on without being too bitey. It's about right. It's exactly what you need. It's a big one, so 16 ouncer. David, what you got?
I have Count Orlok Black Pumpkin Ale
because it is the season.
It is the season. And
You've also faded back into your smoky distance. It's like we're talking with Grandpa in the study now about beer.
Well, no, okay. So the reason just to clarify, the reason I was kind of sitting back is I'm like, why don't I know what district I'm in? Surely I was in. So was 7, is 5 now.
Okay, I'm gonna add this to the show notes list, David. The boring project has now been requested.
And the reason I was kind of sitting there wondering is because literally it's like 2 streets over that it turns into 7.
Yeah, we're pretty much in the same boat, it sounds like. Although I think you're more like north and east of Nashville. Is that right?
I'm south.
Oh, south. Okay.
Yeah, but then this is the other problem is if you look at a picture of my district, it makes zero fucking sense. It literally just encompasses this one section south of the river of the city and then hugs the most conservative part of Franklin and Brentwood.
This is why she needs to win, because it would just be the laughing stock.
It really would. Well, I mean, I need someone who's going to beat Ogles because this is just fucking embarrassing. Anyway, so this is really nice. It's got.
We're back to the beer now.
Back to the beer. It's a lot of pumpkin beers either go too sweet or they go too they can't figure out the spice balance. This gives you a little bit of pumpkin, a little bit of spice, and then it just quits. It goes away. And I think it's because that's why they called it a black pumpkin ale. Is it finishes like a stout.
Oh, huh. Well, if it's based on just being a black ale but then being pumpkin,
I'm with you though. If a pumpkin beer has too much of that pumpkin spice, which most all of them do, it's pretty disgusting.
I mean, it can get out of hand. It can definitely get out of hand. I definitely know, around this time, literally, from November, from the end of September to the beginning of November, trying to lay hands on pumpkin spice brewing extract in Nashville becomes a challenge. And
I just think it's overdone.
Didn't need too much of it.
There's too much of this pumpkin beer shit happening in the world. Though I say that, but I went last Thursday. I had a mixer to attend at New Holland. I've gotten incredibly lucky that in my neighborhood, I have New Holland. My favorite brewery makes my favorite beer, and I recently joined the American Advertising Federation board locally here in the chapter, and that's where the meetings are.
Nice.
Meetups for the mixers are there every month. So it's a great mashup. And while I was there, I did the barrel-aged Ichabod's Revenge, which is the balls-upped version of Ichabod, which is their pumpkin beer. So,
which is good because
there
Ichabod.
are plenty of ways to fuck with it, like this one that you see listed here. That's very different as an approach without wearing the shit out of the pumpkin thing. Because my God, it gets old fast.
Yeah, I've got 3 of them in my case tonight.
Well, Brian, have you fired up yet? Do you want to talk about?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got to tell you, one of the things I'm very thankful for this holiday season is that nowhere in the arena of cannabis does pumpkin appear. There's no pumpkin.
Oh no, you know it's there.
So
you know it's there.
We are pumpkin
Don't lie.
free, and I'm loving it. Now tonight, since we're traveling, and discretion is a bit of a thing, I'm using one of my nice little True Pods. Get a good look at that. It's 80% pure oil, and the terpene level is about 3.1. And neat little vaporizer that's handy to walk around with, and it's just very good thing. And this makes the trip a hell of a lot more doable. And the quick beer story, I may have mentioned it before.
Yes, the beer story.
Tried any of Clarkson's Hawkstone Lager?
Doesn't sound familiar.
Well, yeah, Jeremy Clarkson. He's the big, tall idiot, from Top Gear. And all that.
Yeah.
Well, he's got his own farm, and he
Kind of my
grew his own barley.
Oh, this shit. Yeah,
and he
yeah.
made his own beer called Hawkstone Lager. And
okay, I haven't made it far enough into that show to see this.
Well, I liked it a lot. I'm a car guy too, and I paid a price that would embarrass my ancestors to get a 4-pack shipped over here from England, and had 2 of them nice and cold. It's a lot like a shock top. It's just really nothing to write home about. But that's my beer.
Kind of like Clarkson.
Yeah, nothing to write home about. Yeah, he's
the man has given me so many good memes to use lately.
I mean,
when someone has an unfortunate incident on the right, I have gotten so much mileage out of that. Oh no! Anyway,
right? I know. Here's the thing. I can't doubt Clarkson for being funny, but he's also a fucking ass.
Well, yeah. I mean, they kicked him out because he punched the producer. That's why they kicked him
out
off
because he
BBC.
punched 3 producers on 3 separate instances.
Well, pick one, any one.
Right.
That's enough. And then Amazon picked him up, and Lord God, how much money they threw at them. And now he's got Clarkson's Farm, which he's got. Oh my God, the man must be rolling in money. And
he was already rolling in money.
It does give me heart though. It gives me hope. It makes me even an idiot can make money being an idiot. So there's still hope.
Well, I mean that's he figured
Mm-hmm.
out how to make Bentley and Mercedes consistently, turn out their pockets so he can go lick their tire tread.
Shit. So
I imagine it was. Yeah, I can't figure that.
Once I adjusted my camera, you may have noticed I'm wearing my Daily Morning Hope T-shirt. I wore this to. I like to wear a conversation starter T-shirt in my in the line when I go to Dragon Con each year because it's a zigzag Disney line to register to pick up a badge, and people walk toward you repeatedly seeing the shirt, and you're walking through busy streets, and it got such a good reception. So then I wore it on the No King's Day, and like literally everybody, and it was really fun to watch the demographic spread. Getting back into that Afton Ben thing because I know that or Bane thing. Sorry, the name, the spelling fucks with me. Because I know Brandon, you don't have all night. So to me, Colin's here. He's not dead yet. Tragically. To me, she does not come off as terribly like she's left. Is that going to be correct? No, that's still. I don't know which direction I'm facing on people's screens. She's not left. I'll use my left. But she's where it should be to me. To me, she's the point on the scale that we need a lot of.
I mean, I think the
people sounding excited, and this is part of what I was giving you shit for in our conversation, Brandon, is people sounding excited about her as a super left. I don't think that's it. Now in Tennessee, okay, yeah, but like Nashville standards, I think she's what normal is supposed to be.
Yeah,
I would argue that I am what normal is, and you still think I'm extreme left.
Only on some topics. There are some topics that I think you're spot on, and that's actually kind of my slice. Is like a lot of times I like a whole lot of one thing, but this other stupid thing I can't give the time of day. I cannot fucking jazz hands instead of applauding. I just cannot wrap my head around that fucking shit. And
I mean, that's not even something I'm familiar with. So we're not even saying.
Dude, like
I think you probably are exposed to some more like crazy extreme leftists than I am in some ways.
Well, in our local activist crew or scene, because crew implies that I'm part of it, and I'd never wanted to be because I always felt like I'd be not on the right page. But in the local activist scene here, yes, and there are people in the comments that can definitely tell you this is the impression that more people than just me have. There's a very impractical, completely not pragmatic, nutso extreme that seems more interested in their own like ego contest and
I think that's
clicks within their own groups and fighting over weird random dumb shit than actually being effective, and that does have me extra cranky. But it's like you don't have to like a Bill Maher opinion, but Bill Maher's footage of National Convention for Democratic Socialists of America isn't just AI made up footage. It's a room full of fucking dweebs going instead of clapping for some fucking bullshit reason. And I just can't go that far. I can't get that far.
I think one thing that you experience in the North that is definitely not as true here in the South is if you're going to commit yourself to wanting to be A, on the right side of history, and B, involved in more center left to left politics, there just isn't the bandwidth because there's so many more pressing issues immediately right there. Like, for instance, like we were talking about earlier, joke about the fact that we both got fired. I haven't even bothered trying to apply for unemployment. Simply because I've gone through that process before, and I know how it works. And I'm like, you all will literally. At this point in my unemployment, I still would not have received a check. Everyone I know who's even gotten unemployment from the state of Tennessee, it's usually 4 to 5 months into their unemployment.
And isn't it like really shitty weekly? Like it's $200 or something?
It's like $300 at most a week.
So we get $460. So it's 100% worth it here. And
on top of it, with Nashville rent prices, Nashville utility prices, Nashville grocery prices, legitimately that $300 makes it so that you don't necessarily starve, but you still get kicked out of your house, and you don't have any internet, and maybe you get to hold on to your phone. We'll see, depending on the plan. I mean, it's not. It's at the end of the day, I'm just like, it's not really fucking worth it. Like I went to go get my student loans deferred because my payment was tied to my income, and I may have to go and apply for unemployment because they won't defer my loan payment until I show them a letter that says I applied for unemployment.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's weird. But
other than me just saying no, I'm unemployed. If you see that I'm employed, well, but no, I mean it's I think the bandwidth in the South, there just simply isn't the bandwidth for the jazz hands or any of that. It's basic life or death issues for a lot of people.
That's the thing,
day.
Man. Up here, everybody's talking about its life and death issues, but the frivolous, stupid shit that cycles are getting burned on.
You have a Democratic governor, a Democratic AG. You have Democrats have not been forced entirely from power by gerrymandering and racial politics. I think in the South, ethno-nationalist politics, which it's kind of looping in another issue that's now really being debated in Republican circles is, oh no, we let the Nazis in. Even Laura Loomer is now trying to turn around and be like, oh no, we don't want the actual Nazis in. We want the pretend Nazis. And like no.
Right.
Like, and the reality is, of course, in the South, that we've been dealing with ethno-nationalist forces for a long time. I actually kind of surprised several. I went to a fairly conservative law school, and almost all the black students that I graduated with considered themselves very conservative when they graduated, and now their Facebook feeds since we've graduated have turned much more liberal as they've realized, oh wait, you didn't mean me, right? when you were talking about helping people out, you meant people without melanin.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to pause you there, Grandpa David, on your yarn, because I've got a tiny little black and white screen down here in the corner, and we've all put a emoji for what's in our mouth. So, ladies and gentlemen, John's here Friends
Hey,
of the
guys.
show gathering again. There's like 40% less John than the last time he probably had a box on this screen too. You're looking great, man. Congrats.
True, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do actually have something purple for my mouth.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Senior Director of Ligmas. What the fuck? All right. While I go in here and fix all these different names. What's new with you, man? Welcome aboard.
Oh, not a whole lot outside of my trip to England.
Right?
Just kind of chilling, working, wrapping up the end of the year projects and all that stuff.
I really liked watching you guys get to do that, even though you didn't get to make like the big show.
Well, that was just one set at that big show. And it was the opening set.
So it was like the guy you wanted to see.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was lots of people there I wanted to see, and I ended up getting to meet up with him later, anyways, and just hang. Which is, yeah, I mean, I've seen him play live many times. So.
Oh wow! If I add titles to this view, it makes us all even smaller. We've been making fun of how little we technically know about this platform since we only used it like this is the second time.
It is not the second time we have.
It's the second time on this platform. I can't exit to go look at the previous videos, but I'm pretty sure it's the second time on this platform. It might be the third. It's no more than 3.
It's like the 5th or 6th.
It's not.
Sorry. Did you stream all of those times? Maybe you're just thinking of like test runs.
You paid for it. More. He's trying to do the math and make sure that when he does the math on this, once we're done with this subscription, it doesn't actually come out to having been $56 per episode for David's poor budget. But what it's probably going to look like
worse.
$56 per episode. But it was like a crazy deal because if you would quit StreamYard, when StreamYard shit the bed and like doubled their rates on people, the whole fucking world rebelled against them, rightfully, and they did a special. It was like half price for a year if you jumped over, and so we were like, let's do it, fuck it.
Did you have to prove your licensing to them that you came from another platform?
Do what?
Did you have to prove your licensing to them that you came from another platform?
No, it was just a promo. They took people's word for it. It's probably just an excuse to promote. And on a similar note, I've been fucking around with Affinity and trying to kick my Adobe habit because that shit's been pretty impressive. I'm keeping the Adobe stuff because I can't afford to fuck up my InDesign world. But I like that the software game is starting to be a little bit competitive with some of these people fucking with each other.
It's funny you mentioned kicking your Adobe habit. I edited a video today in a different video editing suite for the first time. I moved over to DaVinci.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know a lot of people.
DaVinci.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I was like, and Resolve is free for like just doing quick things without paying any licensing, and I was like, this is everything I need for a quick edit. So
very cool.
It's true.
Hey guys, I'm sorry. It's good to see everybody, but I'm gonna have to split. I just have to dart in, dart out. But it's been a long day, and
I just started to fix your fucking title. But no, I didn't think you were going to be able to make it, so I'm glad that you were able to get in on this for a minute. And good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you too, man.
Good to see you, man.
I haven't seen you guys in a while. Good to see all you guys. Hey, Brandon, everybody, y'all have a good evening.
You too.
Take care. You too. Have a happy holidays, man. I'm gonna sign off from here and just I'm gonna go to bed. I ain't gonna. I'm gonna go to bed.
Well, you drove like all day, right? So
they started at 4 a.m. in Tampa. Oh, it's been a long day.
Cool. Well, good to see you, man. Take care,
guys. Much aloha.
I was going with other layouts. What does this one do? Oh, there's the full screen. That's kind of neat. It wasn't 5, but oh, hey, we get 5 back. That's the handle you're going with. All right, it's Mackinac Bridget.
Oh.
Hey everybody!
A few minutes ago, I said, "Get in here and break up this sausage fest."
Yeah, I almost ran a red light. I was laughing at the text message.
That's funny. I mean, it wouldn't have been funny. It wouldn't have been funny if the outcome was bad, but that's kind of funny. All right, there we go. That's bigger. That's better.
No, I would have asked you for bail money, fucker.
Oh, that's great. No, I already tried to dance with that risk today enough myself once I finally summoned the cops and both of the telecom contractors to the street. But I've broken my personal record for getting a response from spam blasting the shit out of the executive group in a corporation. So 40 minutes is how long it took me to get a phone call from the vice president of MetroNet after sending that email. I'm pretty happy.
You mentioned bad outcomes. I did once try to file an expense report for a speeding ticket because it was on the way to a work event. They didn't appreciate that one. It didn't get approved.
Aw.
That's funny.
I tried to do the same thing with a parking ticket in downtown Nashville in an emergency.
Hey, that's
network
legitimate.
It was a network outage. A whole building was down and could not find parking, and they were like, "Just park." And my car got towed and ticketed.
Legitimately, in the hospitality industry, especially if you're subbing in for someone because of the parking situation, we will expense your fucking parking. Because it's $50.
Yeah,
minimum for you.
Okay, I'm gonna put this comment in because it is important. Yes, sign language for applause is basically this, but a whole room being told to do that for applause.
Okay, so I watched that video that you posted today, and I have an argument in favor of that doesn't involve any whimsy, pimsy,
oh god,
ultra liberal stuff. That
Man,
why it's a
Pimby was the phrasing. Get it
whatever,
right.
whatever. Get fucked. Okay, you have worked at many a convention, Lucas, both professional and some not so.
Both.
Yes, that too. How many times have you been trying to present on a schedule and you need to hold to that schedule tightly and you've had to pause for applause too many damn times? If you get the whole audience to do this, you can just keep talking the whole damn time and it doesn't matter.
You're not wrong.
I mean, the man has a point.
Neither is the coffee house snap. So if you got to have an alternative that doesn't interrupt.
Can't snap. That's very ableist.
Kind of loud.
Yeah, how am I supposed to snap when I don't have thumbs? Come on.
God damn it, you ableist bastard.
No, I just mean I literally can't do it. Never been able to.
What's the sound of one hand clapping?
I was about to say, Bridget's onto something. One of my favorite Simpsons bits is like, what's the sound of one hand clapping? Like, they're like, nothing. No, hear it. It makes a sound.
Lucas, I'd like to buy that rock.
I'm not going to say what it sounds like.
Oh boy. Anyway.
Oh my god.
So we were talking a little bit
from...
about the Tennessee 7 race, Bridget, with Afton Bain, and how important it would be, like, just a national embarrassment for that to actually flip, because that would be very much similar to the Texas thing, which is great.
I think it can be an embarrassment.
The left spectrum and where things land, and I really think Afton is a great example of where things should land, just universally. If I could, shit out an ideal Democratic Party, it would very much center around that. I
think
great.
Well, I'm going to say, I think, because I want to kind of bring us to current events. The most recent election cycle, the Democratic Party proved that it can accept that it can be Big Tent. It can say, hey, listen, this is the right person to run in this place, and this is the right person to run in this place.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let's do this. That way David's got enough screen real estate for his forthcoming Spanberger boner that he's going to have to lean around in order to fucking talk to us. Go ahead, David. Keep going.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
He really doesn't have a sharp enough resolution on his camera.
There we go.
Well, see, here's a weird
I really
thing.
don't. Apparently my camera's...
When you smoke in front of your camera literally all day for like 6 years.
I don't. It's not that bad.
Proceeds to clean lens with thumb.
Right? No, unfortunately it's the lighting in here. It's soft white lighting.
It's okay, man. You got soap opera focus. It's all good. I was telling him election night, like, I bet you're gonna have trouble seeing around that Spanberger boner. Some of you have been on this stream before when David's going off about how she's the next president.
Listen,
It ain't all that, homie. I'm glad she won. She has
Telling
possibly reached the pinnacle of her. It's not that kind of resting face. I don't know what it is, but the woman does not smile according to everybody else unless she's got her family propped up on election night. I will accept that criticism from one of my right-wing friends that actually lives in her state. He's like, that woman's never smiled in public. And they don't need to smile, but with politics, it helps to occasionally look pleased about some shit. So he was not wrong. Oh,
At any rate, it did work out.
Came back. There she is.
Yep. She went to go find her appropriate commentary fluid.
A refill.
But no, I mean, I think the Democratic Party proved that it can figure out how to run the right candidate in the right space. I think
walk and chew gum.
I think Afton Bain is going to have a really hard time in the 7th, though, because it's gonna entirely depend on whether Fairview shows up and votes in mass.
Is it Fairview?
It gets better. It's Fairview from the Kentucky to the Alabama border.
What the tits? Hold on, now I got to see this.
It's a really weird district. They basically tried to cut up Nashville and
I knew that.
rural areas. Yeah.
7th congressional district, right?
Yep.
So we're talking about Stewart to Wayne.
Yep.
And a weird little chunk of Williamson, and then the pizza slice out of Davidson.
And it's Fairview.
Where is she currently? Because she's currently in office in the state, right?
Don't think so.
No.
It was.
I could be wrong.
Representative Afton Bain.
What state house district?
District 51.
Oh, so that means she's just north of me in Fairview.
No. She's Opryland. And then downtown. She's got what I would call the General Jackson route district.
That works really well.
That actually is true.
It covers the
fucking
General
steamboat.
Jackson tour. That is her.
Her district is the fucking steamboat. Great.
But I don't understand how this
Great.
translates. How does it? She must live exactly in the right place because the map of 7. It's downtown. 7's in downtown then. So she must live downtown vicinity.
Because I mean, ever since the redistricting, none of it makes any fucking sense. The fact that my like literally, there's a bulge that takes out my piece of Bellevue. And again,
I'm about to say, well, he's an expert on these, so continue, sir.
I mean, again, for our Michigander viewers, like these are neighborhoods, large neighborhoods inside Nashville. So it's a bulge that eats up my neighborhood, Bellevue, and then it reaches all the way down to the friggin' Mississippi state or Alabama state line. No, Mississippi state line. And then reaches randomly skirts underneath the city.
It looks like the silhouette of the thing looks like some kind of weird character from a Little Nightmares game, like
right. It doesn't
trying to eat South Nashville. It's like weird, so weird.
I mean, and for those of you who don't understand, like this is an ongoing issue because up until recently, the city, the way there's two methods of gerrymandering. There's what's called cracking and packing. Cracking is you take a district that reliably votes one way and you break it up into a bunch of other districts and take pieces out of it. Packing is you take everyone you know is going to vote one way and you pack them all into one district.
Uh-huh.
So the way the Tennessee Republican Party has traditionally dealt with Democrats in Tennessee is packing. So at the very least, we got Memphis and Nashville. They have now chosen, because of a lot of, and primarily focused on racial ethno-nationalist issues, to start cracking. So now even the traditionally super safe district in Memphis is kind of wonky because they want to include these outlying communities, which have a record of being notoriously racist.
It's crazy, David, because your neighborhood is like just outside the district. That's why you didn't really have to care, because
that's why I said, like, I'm like, literally, it's 2 streets over, and I'd be in her district.
And Brandon,
I'll send you my
from you.
location. You can look it up later because I don't want to like dox myself online. But
Yeah, sure.
Literally, you cross the street. I mean,
Well,
it's like
with yours, Brandon. Like it at one point it does this I-65 split line right down the middle of Cool Springs. So
I'm near I-65 in Cool Springs. So
Yeah,
that was
they got
the
nothing on
distribution. Like that was a purposeful distribution of rich assholes. That's what they were doing down there. Like,
Yeah,
fuck it, draw the line on 65.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
take a look at Kentwood, Michigan. You're all done. It's the biggest city in our entire state geographically, and like it's so wonky. I never want to have to knock doors there again. I was knocking doors today for, as I say, goofy at the doors, like, hey, just your friendly, dirty hippie tree hugger getting out the ballot initiative. It goes over really well with old white men who were probably once dirty hippies and Nixon hated, and so I'm getting a lot of buy-in. I'm getting about a sheet a day filled up for the.
I like it.
That's nice.
Yeah, Rollback Citizens United in Michigan. That's what I've been doing.
Actually,
all fucking day.
yeah, because some people may not know, and of course the people that are outside of Michigan don't know. First, I take it for granted because I see Bridget all the time. But Bridget is like a campaign operator extraordinaire and doing a lot of door work and can really kill it on the ground. If I'm ever financially independent enough to run for office, which always sounds stupid when I say it, people are like, what do you mean? Like, I am never working again if I open my mouth on a campaign. So I need to be like, win the lottery or be comfortable in some way before I can ever tell the bosses.
To be fair, you're way more vocal on LinkedIn than I am. And it's for that exact same reason. I don't want to get like searched by some recruiter and get blackballed without even knowing it.
Right. LinkedIn posts, I draw the line on, like, if someone had a problem with it, would I want to work in their culture? And that's the defining, like, when I talk about, like, there was a GIF I posted from one of the funny groups that, because there are groups on LinkedIn, working groups on LinkedIn that do funny shit. And there was one where it was like somebody being flung into a creek and it says onboarding. And I was like, oh, I know this one, because you're not being very specific. No one knows for sure if you're talking about the dog you just left. But
I work in tech, so they're clearly like historically left wing, right?
Yeah, I mean,
HR degree.
Not necessarily.
I have to say,
fucking do it. Just put it out there. At this age, fucking do it. There is a model of attraction, selection, and attrition. Ben Schneider came up with it in the 80s, and it's brilliant. You just fucking dog whistle your shit on LinkedIn, and the right people will find you, like me, and fucking hire you and see the humor and see the progressive and see, and especially, I just self-selected out of the whole thing when the Society for Human Resource Management bought into Trump's fucking rhetoric and started saying DEI instead of civil rights and went that route. I stopped getting recertified. It's literally like the bar association. If you don't maintain your certification in like employment law and all this shit, it's like, I said, fuck it. I'm leaving middle management, all of that. And that's when I transitioned in 2020 to politics. And I can just put whatever I want out there because it's actually going to get me hired now.
Well, I mean, I have to say, Bridget, I applaud you.
Commenting and being on screen.
Why are you outing me like that?
5 years.
I wish I could knock on doors in my district. Unfortunately, there's a decent chance that I would be gunned down by some polo-wearing asshole with an autographed shotgun from the Green Hills Golden.
Autographed.
I now have the power and the money and the authority to bring you to visit Lucas and do this with me. And I can recruit and we can harbor you for a few months and man.
I mean, I have promised to more than one potential Southern refugee that I will be one of their stops on the Canadian Railroad.
Right. For those of us who,
there's a
for
side
those of us,
argument that developed in the comments because I said GIF.
If it's not peanut
Which I
butter, shut
support
your
that.
mouth.
It's a
I
GIF,
will
not a
die on the
GIF. It's
GIF
a
hill
GIF.
because that's what the creator said that he called it.
But language can evolve outside of the creator.
Oh, here we go.
I'm on
oh,
John's team here. No words we
Okay,
say
Alder
are the
Huxley.
pronunciation of the actual creation of those words. Have you heard of Middle English, Old English?
Yeah,
It keeps
right.
changing.
Buck, let's just go to Gondor.
Right. Oh, it's weird you would say that because the last 2 days I've been playing through the complete extended edition total soundtrack. It's more than 2 days at your desk of listening to Lord of the Rings music. Because it's not just the tunes that they put on the score album. It's literally every music cue and tiny bit
Yep.
together in order, and it's astonishing how long it takes. Because I left the office today to go out in the street and cause trouble, and I came back
Funny you brought that up.
40 minutes later, and I was like, oh, this should almost be over, and it was still in the middle of the soundtrack album for Return of the King. I was like, what the fuck?
So
That
Lucas,
was part of my wedding video, actually. I used the Shire and a few other things. I'm single now, but the wedding video was fucking awesome. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
John was
Lucas,
about to pipe up with something.
yeah, you brought it up, your little adventure outside today. I presented every post that you've made about that scenario, including everything you wrote and the photos and the videos that you posted today in the build room at my job to the entire help desk up on a large screen and made them look at all of it. It was kind of a unanimous vote that you're a Marin, a male Karen. and when
Petty as fuck.
when I got home, I listened to your phone call, all 22 minutes of it, roughly.
Yeah.
That poor lady.
Here's what I love. I love that it took only 40 minutes. I didn't expect that. It took only 40 minutes for her to call, and this has got so many aspects, right? Like, first the cop standing there saying, well, it's not the contractor's fault, it's the people's speeding fault, and me just holding back everything I could muster not to say, and whose fault are those? Because it's fucking, I've only been saying for 4.5 years that you assholes don't fucking do anything about traffic, but a black guy looks at you funny and you're on that shit with 6 fucking units. And so it's like, it's got so many sets of problems attached to it. But the subtext that you may not know, people might not know, is that, locally, those of us that live in Grand Rapids have fucking had it with construction on construction. In Grand Rapids in the summer, you get a detour.
Sing me the song of your people, please.
Oh, no, it's,
please.
dude, I thought I knew bad from Nashville. But what blows my mind is Nashville doesn't have street grids that make sense. Grand Rapids does. But during the last year and a half, Grand Rapids has done its best to turn its perfectly functional Midwestern street grid into a nonsensical set of southern dead ends by putting construction and a detour. And then on that detour, there's another detour. And so people are fed up. And then when these motherfuckers finish the work...
So it sounds like Harding Pike on days ending in Y.
Yeah, probably. And
I do have a question for you, Lucas.
Hold on. When these motherfuckers finish the work, they do other shit that's much more blatantly, obviously shitty. Like, they'll dump leftover, asphalt into somebody's yard and just leave it there as a hardened fucking mound. And, it's just shitty things like that. So people here are kind of fed up. And we hear about it at the neighborhood organization. And when you've got both of my city commissioners who are not politically in the same spot on the spectrum agreeing that they've had it with this problem and they're hearing it from all their citizens, shit's fucked.
Yeah.
So
just
I
keep
picked
dropping
one that I could.
on stuff.
I am curious, though. I'd like to answer a question at work tomorrow that the guys had, and I needed to ask.
Oh, shit.
So, we learned from all that information that someone hit some cones at one point, correct?
Yeah.
Were those cones embedded under a Acura type vehicle or anything like that by chance?
So
Continue.
the very first night, I didn't know that there were multiple spots. I thought the only one was in front of my house. And I was leaving to go do something. And on my way up the road, I see another one. I'm like, the fuck is this? And there are like 5 people behind me, like, I can't do anything about this. But I can hit that one that's out there in the middle. And so one of those was me. And that enabled me to know what this looks like. Then by the time I came home, everyone that was in the street had been hit. One of the locations, well, 2 of the locations where these are close to one of the most problematic bars we have, the Triangle Bar, where it's basically a biker / neighborhood dive, and the whole street fills up. People park wherever the fuck they want. And so they're also coming out of there, not necessarily in the condition to drive. And then they've got the cones. So the whole thing was just a terrible idea by people that don't live here. And I don't think, like, when it's city work, they require, and I'm going to get the phrasing wrong, Bridget, you're going to be able to correct me, but it's women, minority, and micro-local. I don't know if I'm doing that in the right order. But there's a certain requirement that there's an engagement of equality in the offering. In this case, it's just private. They're just using the fucking contractor from Detroit that they always use all over the state. But a lot of times with these government projects, I get pissy because
so you all have low jack too.
The what?
Low jack.
Like an ankle bracelet?
The Tennessee contractor.
The what?
The Tennessee contractor.
No, we don't.
So in Tennessee, like something like 50% of all road work is done by LoJack, and the reason originally it was done by this guy is he can claim like 1/16 Cherokee heritage, so they would pawn it off as, oh, it's a diversity hire.
Oh no! So
we even put an Indian on their emblem. They put a Native American on their emblem on their trucks, so everyone would know that oh, well, we're a Native American owned organization. Like,
I mean, yeah, it is kind of that.
Than my Irish ass.
Here's the thing. I have a job for my cousin. My cousin lives on the reservation, is looking for a job, has done this kind of work before. I'm just going to tell him to fucking put the casino emblem on his truck and drive down there.
Yeah, there we go.
Here's the thing that gets me, and I consider that, like, with this particular rant, you have to stay till the end, or like whoever crops it, and John's probably hitting the record button. Whoever
YouTube's doing that for
can
me.
Use it to make me sound bad, but I can't stand this shit where they force.
It's not the cropping making you sound bad, asshole.
They force this parameter into the project, but then to satisfy it, they bring people in from well outside our tax base. And for me, that's not the problem. Isn't the fact that they're bringing the people in and doing the diversity. The fact is that Grand fucking Rapids should ask itself a solid question. Why don't we have that much diversity in the business already?
Because they're not sourcing it from the right places. Who do you think sends out the notice and tells their buddy and blah, 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 blah? It's
right.
Yeah, Lucas and I have run up against, this is the biggest small town I've ever fucking lived in. And if you don't have your last name start with VAN something, then you don't get hired.
Oh, Jesus. You need to come down to Nashville. Is your name Demumbrian? Can you spell Demumbrian?
No, but I can spell demon, Brewing.
Right?
Yeah, I didn't pronounce it correctly for like 5 years.
Literally, I was on the sidewalk downtown the other day, and I heard someone looking at the street being like, and I'm like, I knew they were from out of town. I just turned around, Demumbrian. They're like, oh. I didn't even need to know what they were doing. Like,
but then you know for sure when the French tourists are on the bus because they get it right.
I'm like, oh, it's the
they get it right. What Seth's saying is exactly what people are hearing from neighbors all over the city. Road signs, cones, random shit that just sits there. Like, I had a whole bunch of little dick signs printed out with different phrases ready to go for this one sign over here on Alpine, which heads north-south through the neighborhood, because the sign said detour on Leonard Street westbound, which was 3 weeks out of date when I spotted it. Because the detour is now eastbound. So it would completely fuck up, like literally create a worse problem because they would make people want to go eastbound to get around it maybe instead of westbound. And right when I had all that shit ready to go this past Saturday, somebody came and got
You know, I will say this for the change that they've done in renaming and like circumventing the state to establish our own Department of Transportation. The one thing
wasn't that I forgot how that worked. It was they renamed the the Public Works Department.
They renamed the Public Works Department the Department of Transportation,
and then they moved trash to water. That was the weird part. Which made me squick. Like, this is right before we left Nashville, and I was like,
It made you what?
Squick. You're gonna move what to what? You're gonna move the what to the water? The trash to the water department? These things aren't things that should be combined.
You're not wrong, but I feel like the worst thing about what you said was still squick.
Yeah.
What is squick?
I just had to Google it. It is an informal verb to cause someone to feel intense disgust.
I will be damned. Lucas actually taught us something today.
And it's actually in the Oxford Dictionary. Like, just for the record, it's real.
Does include like a little bit of leakage out your ass?
That's what I thought. That's where
I mean, honestly,
I was like, did the man ink?
Yeah.
I mean,
but the Department of Transportation has actually done a fairly decent job.
But they had to do it in the first place because the state forbid them to have one, which is fucking insane.
Well, and now for those of you not in the know, our hyper partisan legislature has bent the knee and applied tongue to Musk taint for him Musk hole and taint, and yes. You know, I'm sure various other parts of that sandy unwashed beast.
Speaking of musk holes, there has been a request from Vermont in the chat that you guys dish on the Nashville tunnel. So if you're gonna get into musk holes, you might as well go ahead.
Dude, it's a goddamn travesty because first of all, Chicago already played this game.
Chai's here. You just missed it, Chai. We just talked about like West Side Construction shit being left everywhere, but it's okay. Now we're talking about Musk's hole, so you're just in time.
His dark, dank hole.
His dark, dank hole. Which, you know, first of all, it doesn't make any sense that a legislature that has been violently opposed to any form of public transportation, which has tried to propose cutting down on housing to make even bigger superhighways through the city, which nobody wants because the 8-lane highways that we have already don't work the way we need them to.
Maybe that's the secret, David. Maybe the tunnel isn't actually for transportation; it's where to put the pores.
No, the tunnel is how
the tunnel
politicians will be going from their building to the airport. That's exclusively what it's for.
Oh, I thought it was for 13-year-old girls.
Yeah, but that probably too.
Yeah.
But I mean, for anyone who knows, this entire idea that the legislature usually has of, oh, we're just going to build, why don't we just build more highways? And the city pushes back and says, you already can't get on the 440 Parkway, right? I mean, like at rush hour, it's a parking lot.
Colin's not comfortable with us putting the pores in Musk's hole. I don't know what to tell you.
That's the only way he knows to lubricate that hole.
Now they're going to be in favor of some sort of mass transit option to an airport, which is rapidly having more significant problems because they've re-engineered the entire economy, thanks to how the state government has handled things, to such a tourist-dependent economy that now, when the city is suffering a major downturn, because guess who ain't showing up? But now we're going to go spend a bunch of money on a public transit option to build this tunnel. And I want to clarify. So Chicago already tried this game. Their tunnel to O'Hare still isn't done. It's way over budget. And it doesn't have the main problem. So this is the other problem that we have is that these guys forget you can go downtown. There is a place you can go downtown and you can see where they did try and build a subway from 2nd Avenue up to from 2nd Avenue up to further up Broadway. And
okay.
The tunnel,
Bridget, it's amazing. The snack bag is something we can hear, but
Oh
the
my God, I'm so
chewing is
sorry.
silent, and it's the weirdest, creepy thing ever. It's like silence. Audio is bizarre.
But you can see where they tried to build a subway in Nashville. Nashville tried to be, after New York, tried to be one of the first places to build a subway. And they couldn't do it because the entire city sits on rock and water. And
table.
It's not just water table. It's also what the rock is. It's limestone.
Our rock is very hard, but it also quickly breaks down when water is exposed to it. It's a bad combination for tunnels with vehicles in them.
The other problem is
that's the trick. You just figure out when they're all in there. No.
Yeah, no, but that's the other problem because it's limestone.
You follow my own advice. Think about it. Don't say
limestone.
Most people don't realize this when they go into these underground parking garages in downtown Nashville. If you listen, like, oh, what's that sound? That's the pumps.
Yep. Well, the whole design of Music City Center, it was built so that should shit go sideways, the only part that floods due to the water is the garage. Like, that's the reason the biggest ballroom in Music City Center is very impractically on the top floor, because the way it's laid out is it's built on there's an incline first, and all of this part of that incline would be underwater. So this is the parking. And now I will say that it's a good design. I mean, the fucking hidden loading dock on the roof plan is pretty great. I wish, more convention centers were smartly designed like this. The boss place. But it, like, oh God, like John, especially, you're going to love this. The other day I was driving through downtown coming home. Of course, we are considered downtown, apparently, or adjacent, I guess, because Bridge Street, which is right here, is downtown. Officially. So I guess I've always wanted to live downtown, and now I technically do. So I'm coming across the bridge from downtown, from what
I don't see your $4 million fucking condo, you fuckhead.
Right. Yeah. And it's like the bridge is just covered with vans and bullshit in the lane next to the curb, waiting on the convention center. Like, what the fuck is this? Oh, it's load-in for Comic-Con. And like, that's the plan. Like, this is still a town at the right level so that it can just take a lane of the 4-lane bridge and give it to the line for the load-in. It'll be fine.
In Nashville, we would literally riot and burn the vans.
Yeah, not sustainable.
We just throw them in the river and keep going about our work day.
All right, David, before we push on, I'm jumping
like a
in
lime
again.
scooter.
It's time to get out of my comfort zone a little bit.
New occupants.
Since I ran out of beer, we're going to do another beer.
Okay.
Perfect.
outside my comfort zone for sure, but this is Saturday Beer Company from Madison, Wisconsin. So this is from Young Blood. Wait a minute, did I get that right? Saturday Beer Company. Oh shit, I got it wrong. It's Young Blood Beer Company. Oh well. But for whatever reason, it says Saturday Beer Company on the front. That's how I made the label. But this is an unfiltered. No, it is Saturday Beer Company. What the fuck is going on with this? Authentically made in Madison, Wisconsin. Young Blood Beer Company. Maybe they go by both. Yeah, this is from Young Blood. What the fuck? Okay.
I don't think you do as much research on your beer as you do your politics.
Are they a gypsy brewer?
We don't do any research on anything, Brent.
I mean, look at his guests. I'm mainly focusing on myself here.
So I thought the label was clever. I liked the whole cute look, and it's got this flat print. Like I know that I talk about this every time I talk about a beer, but I'm a sucker for the label is 20% of the experience for me. So I got this at a store, not the brewery, because they wouldn't mix and match. But Young Blood, if you go to Madison, first of all, I blew off Madison, Wisconsin my whole life. The only thing I knew about Madison, Wisconsin is this place in the middle of nowhere that my favorite drum corps was from in high school. Like Madison Scouts, that was...
And Packers fans.
They are.
All I heard was he judges books by their covers.
When I was going to go there, I actually zoomed in on the map. It's a whole town on an isthmus, which I've not gotten to use in a sentence since middle school. But, for those that forgot, it's a strip of land between two giant lakes. And University of Wisconsin students have it fucking made. It's a beautiful campus, and it's all on a lakeside. It's just gorgeous.
Well,
that
I have to say that only works in Wisconsin because,
you know what I mean, gentlemen.
as a southerner,
But,
the idea of having a campus by the side of a lake makes me feel bad, because that means that the mosquitoes and everything else rise out of it like the swarm.
I don't know. But I tell you, it's a lot like if you just took Vandy and stuck it on a giant lake. Like, it really is a nice place.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, but a lake not in the south because of mosquitoes.
Yeah,
I did
I
once
must
get
say,
chased by more mosquitoes where they filmed Deliverance.
if
has a lot of mosquitoes,
if you ever want to convince a northerner never to come back, take them to Land Between the Lakes. Which is
fuck
a
that
national park.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
LBL.
when I was there like a couple days early because I was the guy that, came in early, set up the display for the trade show, and then I had free time to fuck off. And so I went and I found the most interesting brewery downtown, walking distance, and it was Youngblood. They have excellent music taste, a lot of old school hip hop playing, great beers. Every one of them is a pun. Outdoorsy Farrah Fawcett was one of the beers that I bought a 6-pack of. Like, just all sorts of really fun, punny, cute names. But then in the store, I found the unfiltered Pilsner, and I'll tell you this: David knows. A lot of you know, but David for sure knows. Like, I'm not really a Pilsner guy, but I used to hang out with him and Adrian every Sunday night that I could, and their beer on special. What was it? 2 for $1 at Mafiosa's after 10 p.m.
No, just all Sunday.
All Sunday, okay.
Even
And they
worse.
would sit down, and they were
Which got hey
fiending for their mama's little yellow pills.
pour one out for Moffs.
Yeah. Oh, is it closed? Gone?
Yeah, unfortunately. I actually had a habit of doing my birthday there. I would have a pizza party and go to Jenny's across the street.
Well, damn.
And
Pour
so
one out for Moffs.
yeah, I had the pizza and ice cream party as an adult.
Lars
That's
Lars
badass.
got greedy. Lars got greedy, and he's going to do something else with it.
All right. Well, I'm not really a Pilsner guy,
Fuck
but I
you,
thought
Lars.
unfiltered Pilsner would be a great way to get out of my comfort
Alaskan
zone.
Fuck.
I was holding this one until we did a stream because it's something I've never, ever tried. I don't think I've ever had an unfiltered Pilsner. It already looks a little ambery from what I can see.
Oh no, it's unfiltered Pilsner's delicious. While I was waiting for you, I've been drinking one right here. So,
Huh. Okay.
Swickle.
It's a Pilsner that doesn't taste like it's water.
Yeah.
Usually when I have a Pilsner, I flash back to the times that I was at a Hooters when I was younger and didn't have taste.
Yeah.
Not the Hooters part, the beer part. I still don't have a problem with Hooters, but
I'm gonna say you didn't have taste either way there.
Yeah, I would say like
it was for wrestling pay-per-views. I don't think I'm rescuing anything here.
I don't know if
I have been
that's
to
correct.
Hooters, and they have an excellent shrimp taco. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna leave that one alone. I'm just gonna pass on that. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna move on.
That's
Everybody
not
went,
even
but he went out
softball. That's
loud.
t-ball. We can't like you can't hit at it. It's literally like a 4-year-old handing you the ball. You're like, no, I can't. This is abuse. I can't.
I've been surprised. Like I think it's because these particular people are cool. But I've had 2 different interviews with women-owned businesses that are marketing PR agencies here in town. One of them was before I moved, before we moved here, and then I got to know them, and now I start like one of their people is on the board with me in the Advertising Federation, and the owner and I still talk. Like she put a role up the other day for an operations manager, so it would be like helping run the agency, which I thought would be pretty interesting. I messaged her like on LinkedIn, like, hey, I saw that job, and what do you think I should even bother? Like, you've got to know my skill set. Like, what do you think? She goes, well, I need some help running this fucking place. And so like, okay, cool. And so in subsequent places where I've had discussions of going into an all-female company, I've wondered if anybody would ask. And it happened. I interviewed for a different agency that actually somebody used to work for her, started her own thing. And one of the interview questions was, how would you feel about coming into our all-female, female-owned company? And I said, well, since you brought it up, often I wonder in an interview like this if I'm the one guy getting interviewed at a Hooters. But and it killed. They all fell out, and I was like, oh, cool. But yeah, like it's It's fine. It was anachronism, but I tried a part of a Budweiser pitcher with friends at a Hooters once, and that was when I decided I fucking hated all those lighter beers. And they're like, "What do you think?" Like, it's water. This does not
beer.
seem like water. This seems a little bit more
Like it has some body to it.
something. Yeah.
So I mean, here's the.
Here.
I
I think it's going to be terrible when it gets warm, so I'm going to try to like.
Well, yeah, most are.
Because this is a pilsner. They say it's Bavarian style lager. It's actually a pilsner. And it's all about whether or not you're willing to add malts. And again, another Nashville casualty of our continuing escalating gentrification. Zans finally closed their doors.
Is it really pronounced, or is it just Zans? I'm pretty sure no one says the C.
It's the artist. The artist is named Cezanne.
Is it?
Yes.
Sure.
You're giving Lucas license for his terrible GIF pronunciation.
Oh, God. The French artist is named Cezanne. The brewery is named Cezanne.
Okay.
Literally, the paintings are on the wall.
I never knew the art part. I just knew it was a brewery with good beer.
I picked up on that immediately, and I don't even live there.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Lucas!
Yeah, didn't connect at all.
But I mean, one of the big things he had was saying like, "Hey, yes, this is the true pilsner, and by the way, yes, I added malt to it."
I have an argument for the pronunciation of the name of that place versus the artist. The artist name is spelled different.
I did pick up on that as well, even phonetically.
See, David, people were just being nice, and then you had to dig this hole, and now
we're going to fill it in.
You know what?
We're going to fill it with the pores.
Yeah. Full circle.
All this.
Can I class up the evening just a little bit?
Oh my!
Hey! She wants to share wine. Hey, let her share wine.
All right. So, Thanksgiving's coming, the holidays, whatever. This is a Robert Mondavi. You'd never know it.
Huh.
My aunt does photography in Napa, and she told me, and she drinks with I don't think she's ever canoodled with anybody on the Epstein list, but I'm just going to say she's been invited to some cool parties. She knows her shit, she knows her grapes, and she knows wine. And she told me this is always okay. Yeah, nobody choke on their snacks.
I've never seen anybody spit take a vape before.
I wasn't expecting that. Of all the places it could have went, I just wasn't expecting that. But I'm sorry to interrupt.
Top of mind. She's very cool. She's been on a private jet. She's not part of that scene, but she gets invited. So the joke was there, and I went for it. So anyway, that's Aunt Nancy.
That's cool.
This is Woodbridge. Anything by Woodbridge? Yeah. Anything by Woodbridge, it is not the other bottom shelf gross stuff. Yeah, you can get it at Walmart, whatever. But this is Robert Mondavi. It's their knockoff. It will always be less than $9. It will taste like Robert Mondavi top shelf. We're good.
Nice.
If it's a red, it tastes like vinegar.
You can, class it up. But
Well, you know what?
Sass.
So do your tears, but I don't drink those.
I was talking about gifting for the holidays and the family in your life. That was the theme, brothers.
I saw a meme that gave me the best holiday advice this year, which was be sure you bring up politics at Thanksgiving so you can save on Christmas gifts.
There we go.
That's a great idea.
My favorite part is that apparently
and don't spend too much.
Like not necessarily all of them, but some of the folks that I will see here on Thanksgiving may have had a change of loyalty recently.
Oh, that proves that they're not completely evil.
Well, that brings us to the topic of MTG.
You want to here?
You've got to before we Marjorie Taylor this, let's get your other actual beer. I didn't know how close you were.
Sorry, I wish I could reach down and put my middle finger in front of you, John, but I can't. I'd also be
So
afraid.
which one is this? This is your.
This is the mind crawler.
Oh, that's right. This is the one I didn't enter yet. So you're just going to talk about it.
Okay. Okay. So I want to clarify. So we do a 30-minute pre-show every single time.
Never enough.
Is that where y'all fluff each other?
Before this. And
Yeah.
he's like, oh. And the past few times we've done this, he's like, oh, we won't worry about, putting in beers. And then all of a sudden tonight, he's like, oh,
we
we're
did
gonna put in
one
beers.
beer. We did one beer before.
We did one beer. And so we're gonna do 2 beers. So I'm like, I'm looking through my bag. I'm like, all right, what am I gonna choose next? I'm like, all right, so I'll talk about this beer that I haven't ever had before. I'll talk about this mind crawler. And then he makes me pick it, and then he does not put it into the banners.
That's okay, because you're bitching enough now that I'm having time to do it. So
yeah. Okay. So anyway, so here it is.
Oh, it sounds good though. Now that I'm reading it on
I like its art.
Ooh.
Well, at first, I thought it was like a circuit board design until you got it closer to the camera, but it kind of looks like a processor with a circuit board.
It does a little bit, yeah.
it gave me a little carnival or carnival meets what am I looking for? Twilight Zone.
Yeah. It's got a little bit of a funhouse vibe. This is a very easy drinking IPA, despite the fact that it's technically a double. It's not hitting it's obviously got Citra and Mosaic hops, but it's not hitting them too hard. It's much more subdued than I would have given credit for a 7% beer. So it's
double New England hazy. That's playing my tune.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's not coming off super citrusy. It's not coming off super piney. It's just very. There's definitely. I strongly suspect there's some lactose in this. Because it's coming off very. Pardon me.
Very sneezy.
Yeah, very sneezy. Very smooth.
David's allergic to double IPAs.
Well, no, I'm allergic to the fact that it was 32 degrees yesterday and it's 72 degrees today. Welcome to fucking Tennessee.
Those were our round the clock cycles 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't think that was yesterday and today. That was this morning and tonight.
The alcohol is less than 8%. You said.
Mm-hmm.
By 0.2%.
Yeah.
Copy that.
Tennessee doesn't actually care too much about the alcohol level, as mostly because they know the grocery store isn't going to sell anything over 6.5 because they won't have a big enough market for it, so they don't actually care. So you can buy wine now, finally, in the grocery store and beer, but you can't buy, quote, high gravity beer at the grocery store. For that, you have to go to the liquor store.
Is that recent? Because I'm pretty sure I bought Dragon's Milk at Publix.
Publix is an exception
14 or
sometimes.
15,
no, Dragon's Milk is 11, so they may cut it off at
or maybe they cut it off at 11. I mean, most of the time, it's entirely possible that the grocery store doesn't give a shit because the entire alcohol control board is fucking doesn't give a shit half the time anyway, unless you're going to give them a check.
Have you seen the fake liquor that some grocery stores are selling now, David?
Oh God.
Oh God.
What's going on down there? Excuse me.
So it'll be a brand. It could be like Fire. It's all shit stuff that you wouldn't want to drink, but like Fireball and stuff like that. But it's not the same formulation if you buy a bottle of it at a grocery store versus if you go to a liquor store. No. They're making it with like malt liquor and flavoring and then selling it as like a Fireball shot. Weird shit like that.
According to the AI results that I don't want to believe but don't have time to care, which is exactly how it's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. In Tennessee, the 5% ABV alcohol by volume cutoff for grocery stores is a key factor, and it's any beer with a content of...
No one follows that at all.
I'm definitely getting more than 5%.
I'm learning here.
And can't be sold.
5% Utah levels, isn't it?
I don't know.
No one follows that at all.
Sounds like you got lucky,
no one
Brandon.
cares.
Yeah, because you wouldn't be able to buy Bud Light Platinum at a Kroger if that was the case.
I mean, basically, here's the deal.
Guess so.
Not familiar with how the alcohol control board in Tennessee works. It's basically a shakedown outfit, right? So if you're a bar, the whole thing is that their job is to come in and find a way to find you in breach, and then we're going to take away your license. Oh well, how much is it going to cost me? Oh well, and it literally it changes depending on the agent that you're dealing with, because you know that they're taking a fucking cut.
All right, before we pivot to the MTG thing, I did miss
You've
this
got
question.
a lot of messages.
I did confirm that every beer I've
There's
drank tonight
funny
I got
shit in the
Publix,
chat.
and it's over 5.
I'm not qualified to answer this question. I'm going to defer to Bridget, who knows a hell of a lot more about on the ground. But
oh, yes, I have an update.
I mean,
I have an update from NPR and all my political science nerds and polling and everything. And this isn't just Michigan. This is national. And I used to work for a political polling firm that fed data back to the Washington Post when they were real and all of that.
Yeah,
shit. So
before Bezos.
these are my good nerd sources. And then I literally heard it on NPR on the way here, and I felt comforted that I'm still keeping a good circle of nerd friends. So hence I'm here tonight. So if the midterm election were held today, right now, and this is social science, this is absolute statistical sampling, this is representative, and you all know the plus or 5% margin of error. Fucking A, 14% Democratic victory across the board, straight ticket, 100% right now. Now,
so
hold on to that or whatever is going to happen. This is literally, these people were polled over the last 72 to 96 hours, right fucking now.
So jazz hand celebration, everyone. Let's do it.
No, that would be for Abdul.
Well,
But
the one thing I want to
if the election was right now, Colin, Abdul would win.
You really though? Like,
yes,
you don't think he's too progressive?
Right now that momentum is still carrying over from a brown man in New York, and we are all in this moment. And you get that, Lucas. You know that with communications and the buy-in and the whole. If it was right now. But
so
we
I
don't
want
know
to call
what
back
Haley
though.
Stevens' team is going to do, and it's down to Abdul and Haley Stevens.
You think so? Because I was going to make it Mallory McMorrow and Abdul.
She talks a good game, but as far as the money and the push and looking at the establishment, it will be Haley Stevens versus Abdul. I like Mallory. I've met her. She's cool. There's a different place for her in the universe. It's going to happen, but this isn't it. They've already picked Haley, and the populace has picked Abdul.
Well, I mean, I would love to see Abdul pull it off.
This is literally New York City in the Grand Rapids, state of Michigan. The whole, this is literally, you can take the white establishment candidate and the brown scary progressive, and this is Michigan right now. Yeah, I know, right?
Can we get a brown scary candidate? I want one of those.
Brandon, what were you about to say?
No, I wanted to call back to Afton and Bain, and I also mispronounce her name a lot and say Ben because I think the spelling.
The damn spelling messes with my head. Like before someone said it, I didn't know. I was like, "Oh, really? Okay." Right.
I literally had to research it before I got on here, so I didn't make an ass of myself. But the point was, this is going to a conversation that did not happen here, but you were kind of getting to the idea that Mamdani could happen in New York, but it couldn't happen anywhere. And I still feel like, a solid left candidate can win in a lot of places. So if that's true, I'm going to take it for the sake of argument that it is, that Democrats are generically 14% up. Then to me, Afton Bain needs to win by more than that. And I think the last election in that district was won by Republicans by 21 points. So to me, that says if she can get it to a gap that's 5 points or lower, even if she loses, that's a pretty good sign that things are shifting.
Yeah, if the Dems don't fuck it up. And
no, they're great at fucking it up, to be clear.
We'll find a way.
And I want to speak to that real fast because I was so pissed. I was so pissed to watch Kane and Sheehan cross the fucking picket line, and do so for such. I mean, here's the problem, and this is what needs to be shoved in their face. And honestly, if I was Schumer, I would have walked into Kane's office and kicked his desk over in front of him. I swear to Christ, I would have.
I
If you
mean,
were Schumer, you would have no spine. It would not be able to walk to that desk. So
So here's the thing: Schumer held. I'll give Schumer credit for Schumer held them together for as long as he did. And then you had fucking brain damaged Fetterman sabotaging shit in the over on the side. But I mean, to watch Kane and Sheehan cross the picket line pissed me the fuck off, and it for no actual concrete fucking guarantee. It was literally they handed them a stack of handwritten IOUs. That they're going to do this. And the problem is that now the Republicans, by all accounts, the Republicans are sitting there scrambling, trying to figure out, we've had 14 years to give an alternative to the ACA, and we still can't find our testicles or our ass or any other fucking body part without a map, a Sherpa, and a seeing eye dog.
So
he's not wrong.
Do you think that the underlying theory was that because of the end of the year, things would just die off and those rebates, subsidies, all like basically, I don't know what you guys all have down there, but in Michigan we have Section 8 for housing and
we got Section 8.
Okay, yeah. So that's how I've explained it to voters is that like this is the Affordable Care Act Section 8 of you can still have insurance and we'll just subsidize the other half of it with other. So those just go away. That just disappears after a certain deadline. Do you think that they did this to then force the issue to a vote so Republicans would have to go on the record of actually killing it instead of it just dying?
I think
it is a legitimate question. I'm not defending it. I'm just asking.
I wish I felt like that much strategy went into it. I've heard
same. Yeah, that's my thing. I wish enough strategy went into it.
I feel like the federal workers union put Keynes. He felt like his balls were in a vice. And he, because they had already said in the shutdown, we're hurting. Like, here's the thing that I really want to look at the federal workers union and be very clear about, because the one concession that Kane pulled out of them was, we'll stop firing federal workers until next year. That was the only concession that was concrete. So to me, what this was Kane dragged these senators across the line because he felt that they had his balls in a vice. He had to find some way to appease the Federal Workers Union, and get this over with, so that
that's good. That's good, Colin. That's real good.
Damn.
Yeah, there's some funny shit in the chat, man. Sorry.
Well, no, I mean, Fetterman is to me, Fetterman and Cinema fall into the same category of people who they had a very good strategy with attracting progressives, which was they said nothing, they stood at the event, waved their hand, and said nothing, right? And so they didn't have to go on record as being. Pardon me.
Now he's allergic to lame Dems. That's legit.
That's what I'm actually allergic to. But
you should probably take an epi shot for that. It's dangerous.
I was just gonna
but
say,
no, I mean, like Fetterman and those sorts of folks. They showed up to progressive events. They said nothing. They waved their hand like the Queen, and didn't have to go on record. And the thing is, so many on the left were so starving for feeling like they were involved, right? That okay, this is our guy. He showed up to our event. No one else shows up to our event, and all of a sudden he and then he gets their vote, right? For very little effort.
Well, you and I did think that we were in for Fetterman in the beginning because he seemed like he was bringing the thunder, and I don't know if it was the stroke thing, but like
I think
No,
the
there
stroking.
was a
I was
right-
always
hard
skeptical of
right.
Fetterman, and I'm your extreme left friend. I thought
you are
he
not.
was. I would sus with him the entire fucking time, and I think a lot of people on like the further left were, and it's for one reason. And if you want to understand if somebody's an honest actor, you look at how they raise their money. And Fetterman was clearly taking PAC money and corporate money. He was giving a progressive message. He said things that made me hopeful. I was hoping that he took this money and still did good things with it. But I was pretty fucking sus the whole time. Now, I do think that there's probably some legitimacy to maybe something happened when he had a stroke. I don't want to read into that too much.
No, there were health
signs
issues,
were there before the stroke, but the alternative was fucking Dr. Oz. So it's
I also want to point out, like he burned through 3 chiefs of staff, who came up with him, and each of those chiefs of staff said, "Nah, the stroke made things worse, a lot worse." So it is,
but probably it's just an exaggeration of what's already there.
It's an exaggeration of what was already there. But I mean, I feel like that's why Kane did it, but the problem is of course Kane split. And he kind of gave a little bit of cover to federal workers. Oh, okay, fine. But the big thing is, exactly, it's the premiums. The premiums are going to go off the chain.
Yeah. So an increase of 35% is a fucking gift. I'm watching the chat here, and people's premiums are going to increase 300% in some cases on the
and I wish I believed it was a strategy. You know, they might fall into a strategy, and they may think that they can. The best thing that could happen is strategy or no strategy. There's a debate about healthcare that takes place at the holidays, and there's a whole bunch of analogies to all the Christmas villains that can be made, and we end up in a new year reminder of how much the Republicans suck, and now we're facing down another shutdown. But I don't think there was a strategy for this. But I still don't understand the why now, because those assholes could have done this shit at any point.
This is the most I've ever heard buzz of single payer healthcare at the national level.
That's true.
Heard it regionally, I've heard of it. This is. We've got everybody's attention.
That's it. It's all the ghost of Ed Kennedy at work. That's what.
Yeah. But I want to say why now. It had a lot to do with I think that the Federal Workers Union was leaning on Kane as hard as he could, and Kane went and found whatever centrist Democrat he could put his hooks into to drag him across the line, because he felt that they had his balls in a vice. Now, on the other hand, do I think Chuck Schumer failed on leadership? In this instance, no. I don't think he did. Honestly, the last time I looked at him and said, "Fuck you, go fuck yourself."
I'm gonna say
I don't feel like this is his fault.
It's not his fault, but he did fail on leadership, because on the other side they fucking fear people in power,
and they get rid of him. As long as he's there, we can't. No more Schumer.
Whatever happened to the whole buck stops the me? If you're the leader, it's your failure.
Yeah,
period. We don't do that.
Well, I mean,
we don't do that anymore. It's not
Schumer needs to go full on Sopranos.
No, the buck stops with a corporation.
This is a great point, that like nothing gets fixed, and we end up in a panic scenario where finally something gets done.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like Schumer has a moment here where, coming up in January, he can go full on Soprano on these centrist Democrats if he's willing to do it. And here's the thing.
No.
I don't know. He might be willing to, because
he's a pansy little bitch.
I feel like
you know what? Here's the thing. We keep on calling these people pansy little bitches, but in the background, they seem to be pretty good at applying hammer to fucking hand.
Only their own.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, here's the deal. Like every time there'd be a progressive uprising, in the House, all of a sudden, like, their ringleader goes and talks to Pelosi, and the next thing you know, they're singing a different fucking tune. So, I mean, I'm not saying like these people can be mobster, but it certainly seems like these people can be fucking mobster.
Sometimes.
Hold on, I need to clarify that, David. When you say when it seems like a progressive is coming up, were you saying they were leaning into it, or they were preventing them from gaining power?
Preventing them from gaining
Correct.
power. Like, and then
Okay.
whenever
On that, I will
there was a
agree.
progressive uprising inside the Democratic caucus, all of a sudden they would go sit with Pelosi, and all of a sudden they come out of that meeting singing a different fucking
But
tune.
to me, that's
I'm
not
saying
showing.
she's like
That's
a
not showing
godfather,
any sort of
but it
strength or
certainly seems
strategy.
like she's a fucking godfather.
No, that's not showing any sort of strength or strategy or ability of leadership. That's showing that you want to raise more money.
Yeah.
Right. Progressives tend to go against corporate interests. Corporations are the ones funding them. So when they see their funding drying up or the threat of that funding drying up, they actually take action. Until
That's why
if
you need
there's
to
no
sign
threat,
my
they take no action.
petition.
It's upside down. I can't.
Veering back to that spectrum of left thing that you brought up, Brandon, I think for me it's about the flavor. It's about what's going to work in the locality. And I think David, you talked about the big tent realization. Like, this is all great stuff. Like, this is the stuff I wish we were talking about in the national conversation about Democratic Party instead of this fucking, like, I did this just as a release of frustration, but I fucking mean it, instead of this, the 7 sellouts and the independent idiot, which I said out loud at a coffee with a friend a couple weeks ago. I was like, that sounds like a Harry Potter book. I think I'm going to have to make a graphic. But, like, it just, we should have been having that conversation. Now we're having a conversation about whether or not they fucked it all up, because we had this whole thing of, like, you like the spam burger? We got the spam burger. You like the Mamdani? We got the Mamdani. You like the AOC? We got the AOC. You like the Bane? We got the Bane.
I will say this.
Abdul, we got the Abdul, but they're not all the same. And my problem that I'm seeing, and I think Bridget's probably been on the ground with this more than me, even though I know tomorrow night at Drinking Liberally, we're all going to be talking about this shit. My problem is seeing certain people in our community that are just absolutely sure they can take cookie cutter, identical, the same number of points on the cookie cutter star out of fucking New York and cut that cookie out of the fucking dough in West Michigan and win their election and or get their candidate to win. And that's not going to fucking happen. No. And I don't have that blind faith. And I think, Brandon, where I got frustrated with you, and we all know that I love arguing with friends. Now, this is what I want from government. I want everybody to sit here and bitch at each other over a beer and go do great things together. That's the whole fucking concept. Well, that's the shit that we lost that we need back. My problem was the notion that it applies everywhere is not functional.
No,
it's still
and that's what I meant earlier.
The messaging,
on, David. I came at his point.
Go on, Brandon. Go on,
the messaging needs to change, but the fundamental principles and policy perspectives don't.
That's true.
So, for example, I always thought in Tennessee, where we live, if you ran as, I say you in the general you, not you, Lucas, but if you were to run as a Republican, and come at it with the messaging of, I believe in the strength of our Constitution and liberty and patriotism and all this like right-wing verbiage, but your actual policy positions were leftists, that you can win. You can make that win. Listen, we're about to have possibly, we're a little premature, possibly a leftist winning in Tennessee without that message. But I'm just saying, if you pandered a little bit to the right wing's messaging and how they emotionally connect to politics, then you can get a much better. Because if you ask them, "Hey, should everybody have health care?" It's a loaded question. Most people say yes.
I would argue that you're misinterpreting the emotion. When they say patriotism, they don't mean patriotism. When they say America, they don't mean America.
They mean nationalism.
Yeah,
they mean nationalism.
That is a fair point.
When they say patriotism, they mean.
Let me clue you on something, David. Though, let me clue you on something. They're a little dumb, so you just speak the language.
But that's the thing.
Have the right policy.
Playing to their stupidity is this
what Trump does.
I think
it's exactly what Trump
work
does
as well. I think the thing that has the opportunity to work, my ideal candidate for, like, say, my district would be this. I want a 40-something white guy. I want someone who with a little bit of gray hair, probably nicer hair than me, a little slick back.
Which district are you talking about?
Right here. You can just say my name, David. I'm right here.
What?
This is fine. I can make it grayer, overnight.
What district are you talking about, though? Are you talking about
so my district,
Congress?
Right? 5. We're both in 5.
Congress. for Congress.
Okay.
Oh,
Like
to go to Washington.
To go to Washington. To go to Washington. My ideal candidate, if I were to put someone in who I wanted to beat a Republican, I want a little bit older, a little bit gray,
A boy, yes.
a man, hopefully has a wife and at least 2 kids, hopefully.
Shit, I just looked at the map of the current 5th congressional district. It's like they drew circles around stupid people and assholes.
Yep.
Like
Welcome
covered
to my
both
Hey,
of
party.
everybody in the chat, put your ideal candidate in the chat just for fucks and giggles. Put your ideal candidate in the chat wherever you are in America right now.
Like that and I want him to talk with a thick Southern accent, not like mine, even though I'm a native.
That's not thick enough for me.
This district is fucking
not thick
insane.
enough. It needs to be, hi y'all, how y'all doing? It needs to be super thick, and he needs to focus 100% on,
Affordability and hospital closures.
I think you're focused a little
affordability
bit
and
on
hospital closures.
a little bit too much on the identity, though. It's that you're basically just describing identity politics, and I think it's more important to be genuine and like how.
Brandon's got a
live in a
very
racist
good
state.
point. It does
No, it's
track
true.
with 5%
Identity
of
politics
voters, though, but
doesn't have
Brandon's
zero
got a
value.
good point.
It's not that it has zero value, but like, for example, who's the most popular senator in the country, regardless of your party affiliation?
Bernie.
Bernie Sanders. It's because he's genuine and he says the same thing over and over again, and people believe that he's being honest.
But here's the
Even if they
problem:
don't agree with him,
he's the most
they
popular
like
senator
honesty.
for people who are just as willing to vote for a Nazi as a Jew. I mean, it's really fucking confusing. I get it, but the problem is they're willing to vote for a Nazi.
But here's the thing.
Unless you put,
They're also willing to vote for
Bernie
our
Sanders,
side.
We can't get our own party. We can't get our own party to pry the stick out of its ass and quit trying to come after Bernie for the relatively defensible notion that you can't just automatically hold the gun manufacturer responsible for the shooting.
No,
They're
my
not
problem with
coming
Bernie
after
is
Bernie
this.
anymore. They're giving
Give
him
me-
a platform
give me the
a
fucking
little bit
numbers.
more and more, though.
I
Have you
would want
noticed
people.
that?
Yeah. Oh,
This
yeah.
is a new,
absolutely.
yeah.
I think they're using him as a test case because he's not going to be good for much else. Bless his heart.
No,
But, like,
no.
the man
we're
ain't
not,
young.
We're not electing
I mean-
him to anything beyond what he is, but they are absolutely helping fund him get out the vote, get out the word.
They're
go on
using his
tour.
little AOC
We wanna hear from
duet
Grandpa.
tour to test the populist
I mean,
waters.
here's what I would say.
Because I want to close this because it's making me want to like take a dump. Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Brentwood, half of Laverne, Spring Hill, Lewisburg.
Oh, my district. Yeah.
Jesus fuck! What the hell?
Uh-huh.
Like, it's nothing but assholes and idiots in the
Yep.
fifth.
I take
Oh,
umbrage
LB
to your
wants to run
assertion.
for office. That was in the chat too.
Oh my god.
No, I mean, like, but
LB,
you know,
we support you.
the thing is with Bernie Sanders, and I get what you're saying with Bernie Sanders, but the problem is that yeah, they'll vote for Bernie Sanders on a national level, but I need a congressman in my district, right? And the problem is that if I put an old Jew in my district, they're going to literally fucking kill him.
Okay, so what if Afton wins? Does that change your? I think it's a long shot, to be fair. But if she wins, does that change your calculus? Because you wouldn't assume that a woman would win.
I don't really feel like Afton necessarily immediately changes the calculus, simply because the districts in Tennessee are so fucked up because of the gerrymandering that at this point I don't know if anyone knows that what 2 + 2 will equal
Ooh.
at
I'm
any
playing
given
with
time.
views now.
Oh, look at this!
Now I can feature David when he's
You
on
have the
a
floor,
tangent.
sir.
Yeah,
I can feature
I don't.
David when
I don't
he's
think
on a
anyone
tangent,
knows what 2 + 2 will equal, especially in this
including his
environment.
invisible sidekick in the other chair. This
David,
is great.
can I ask you a question?
You know, like,
How has a woman performed in that area in the past?
Oh,
In the seventh district?
A lady
Who's this?
candidate.
I think it'd be hard pressed. So the last time, actually the last election was the Democrat candidate was a woman.
Wasn't that
she
the-
got within 7
Megan's
points?
return.
Single digits. She got within single digits.
And no one could pronounce her last name because she was.
And it doesn't matter.
Oh!
The statistics say right now. The
Yeah, you
statistics
remember?
say
Yeah.
yes.
Because I worked with Mary as a teenager.
There you go. If the
Yeah.
election was right now, she'd actually win. That's what the math says right now. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but right now, that woman would actually win that area.
I mean, I think you'd have to see the area. It's bad.
If we're 14% ahead nationally, generically, and you account for all the bias, all the other statistical weighing of debt, she'd still win by 2 to 3%.
No, well, I mean, David's
only 2 to 3%, Lucas.
David's painted a bigger, a much more optimistic picture than reality. Ogles was 56.9, and
no, that was my district.
What?
We're talking
my
about
district,
David.
not Afton Bain's district. Afton Bain is.
Yeah, I think we're confusing districts. I actually thought we were talking about 5th.
Afton Bain is running in the 7th.
I know, but I thought you were talking.
You were just talking about Mary's race.
Oh yeah, if I'm talking about what works best in my district, it's going to be an old white guy.
Right, but what were you saying?
Yeah,
that
and what
gap?
I had asked you was a past woman.
Right.
Oh no, sorry, I got that was actually my confusion.
And the answer to that question, Bridget, is 56% to 39%. So she would still have a longer journey.
Yeah, so you're right.
Because
Mary ran as Miriam, which is her full first name, which I don't think was politically wise because her last name it's been a hot minute since I was 14 and working at the Science Center. She was one of my coworkers when we were teenagers. Abel Fazli.
Yeah, exactly.
Abel Fazli.
Yeah.
So
I didn't even show up to the chat with my German name, and it would probably roll in certain circles right now.
Now, she wasn't struggling as hard as whoever the hell Yomi Faparuzzi was in that race. But
you literally in Michigan, you can put any name you want on the ballot. It doesn't have to be your birth name. Like, I could put Mackinac Bridget on there if I fucking wanted to in Michigan.
That's interesting to know.
That is the truth.
We have because it's her job to come out wider as a candidate, not mine. So I'm going to be vague, but we have an excellent, wonderful, ideal, promising first ward city commission candidate coming out of our neighborhood over here. And we've had some discussions about her name, and we know what we're doing with it from a branding perspective. And it's going to be great, but
I mean, I won't lie
with some of that.
the local Democratic establishment in my district is most of the conversation is, can we burn it down?
Yeah.
The least popular the Democratic Party has been ever in.
But no, I mean, like, you have to understand, like,
fucking kidding me?
But I'm really concerned that they've fucked up the golden egg that they had. Now, this Epstein thing is a bounce. We'll get to that, but we want to use the gateway to get to that because the NPG thing.
This is Me Too too. Me Too the sequel.
How about this?
I just want to clarify. My district is so bad. It is literally, imagine.
Poor David needs a support group.
David lives in the one that I was astonished, like Bridget, like when the one that I was telling you I need to get off my screen because it was disgusting me. That's the district David stuck in.
Yeah, it's bad. It's
John,
bad.
you're outside.
I live in.
I'm district 31.
So, yeah.
No,
I do need to drop.
I've got Brentwood and Franklin in mind.
And I want to say one quick thing. Sorry, David, before I head off, guys, I do have to go. I have a hard stop here. We never got to MTG. I do want to say I actually think she is one of the few honest actors. She's just an idiot. I think she believes in what she's doing. I just think she's really dumb. And I think actually being in Washington and having briefings with people and giving her more information has made her slightly smarter, which is why she's starting to turn on certain issues.
That's true.
I still think she's an honest actor and just real dumb.
I think she fits that George W. Bush category where she believes everything she's saying because she's that stupid.
Pretty much,
before I let you get off the screen, I want
Jewish space lasers?
I want to force you to be on the screen with a woman saying what I fucking said about Afton because I think this is a big piece of her positive appeal that she's an attractive blonde Southern woman.
Let me ask you. I don't ask Lucas this. I want to ask Bridget this one. Do you think that is a 20-point difference or more like a 2-point difference
between who and who?
Being attractive versus not, I think it's easily 10 to 20.
12%, according to psychological literature.
That's why I want to put Swalwell up for president. I want to put California Barbie up for president because goddamn, all he has to
Who?
do. What Swalwell.
Oh,
I know the name. I don't know
sorry.
what he looks like.
I
Yeah.
want him to. I want him to walk into every fucking campaign
There-
rally without his
there's
shirt.
Yeah, he's
something
kind
in
of
our-
a he's kind of a
there's
movie
something in
president kind of guy.
Our primitive psychological evolutionary psychology that just starts to
No,
take
listen,
over the limbic system.
I work in sales, and I enjoy working with attractive women and salespeople that are on my team because I get there's a benefit there. I just don't think.
However, women don't fall for it. We actually like a
Right.
big brain instead of that strong jawline.
Right.
That's where I come in. I'm the technical person, so that's where I come in. Anyway, point
Statistics on that point are a little bit
Thank
fuzzy.
you
I just
for
don't think
thank you
it's
for doing
a
this.
point difference. And if she does happen to win, I
Well,
would not
some of
attribute.
us
You can give her some
literally
credit for
been
being a
beaten
shotgun. That's
down
not
by
fair.
men with a strong jawline. So there is
But-
some
But
actual physical threat there that we.
That's what I'm
look at
saying.
the
Put
softer
Swell-
face sometimes.
I mean, I like Spanberger. I do like Spanberger, but Swalwell, I like my for this next cycle. If I had to pick an ideal candidate who was going to snipe this out from everyone else, it'd be Swalwell for him. And just again, Swalwell, just walk
We'll
out to
talk
every
about it
campaign
later,
rally
but it's
without
going to
his
be
shirt on.
Gavin. So
Oh no! If it's
Oh,
Gavin,
please,
you're going to get
please,
half the
no.
left not voting for him. I wouldn't vote for him. It doesn't matter. I'm in Tennessee, so my vote doesn't actually matter because we have an
Well.
electoral college. However,
True.
no, Gavin.
Yeah,
He
and-
has a good,
Please,
he has a
no.
good social media team, but his record is horrendous. It is
That's-
absolute dog shit.
His ability to lick the taint of big business is to the point of literally it's tattooed on his tongue now. Property
True,
of Tesla.
but it may be to the point of winning. But we'll talk about that in a bit. Brandon,
All right, I
thank you
gotta
for
run.
coming on, man. It was
Yeah.
fun, and if we do the
Hey, look, Brandon and I agreed on something. I'll be fucked.
We agree on like 90% of things. That's the problem. We focus too much on the 10% we
That's
don't
true.
agree on.
That's very true. Thank
now
you,
you
man.
two hug and dock while you're at it.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Hold on. Let me unzip.
We managed
Hold on.
to, John managed to get that one in right under the line, like
Yeah.
right as you click the button. So
Oh, to answer your question, Lucas, I had a stroke a minute ago. I'm District 5. I don't know what the fuck my brain was doing.
well, I thought you might be just outside of District
No,
5.
I'm in
and
5.
whatever
No,
state-
so you-
Do you
get-
need an emotional support Canadian?
Yes. Can I get 2?
So,
the entire South needs an emotional support Canadian. I want to clarify that.
So I'm going to go back to the 4 cut because it doesn't screw up the size.
As long as they're not from Alberta.
All right, MTG.
But if they bring the
I-
beef, the Alberta beef,
I
Alberta beef,
buy the theory. I
they
buy
also
the idea.
they also bring the fascism.
they do.
I buy the idea that MTG is genuine but dumb.
I don't. They're like between the Jewish space laser and all the rest of the shit that came out of her fucking mouth.
But
I'll
see,
give you the secret.
when you take away the spin, which
No,
I
I'll
was
give you the
all
girl secret.
for,
She's
I'm
been
all for
sexually
okay, wait.
violated. She has been sexually violated at some point in her past.
Yep.
I've
She
actually had
identified
I've
with
had
those
this theory.
victims, and she dropped the whole fucking facade and realized this was a sequel to the Me Too movement and seized on that day,
Mhm.
whether it be for good or evil.
Yep.
But yeah, because I've been thinking about this, and it's like, you know what? Everybody's been a douche to us at some point in the heteronormative sphere, and she's been blonde for how long, be it real, fake, or otherwise. Shit gets real with women really quick at certain ages, especially. Somebody hurt her.
Mhm.
And she finally realized that there is a big PR spin to this, which was Me Too in 2016. And this is Me Too, METOO2. Hashtag start it now, Lucas. You have my permission. I thought of this 4 days ago because I said, why hasn't somebody thought of this? Because the Epstein files is the new hashtag Me Too world fucking wide. Not Hollywood. This is bigger than Hollywood.
Well,
MTG wants in on the bigger than Hollywood bring down of the.
I mean,
next-
I will
right?
say this. So a significant portion of her support in her district comes from white women. And because obviously she's got the white men locked up, but at least because you have to know her district. Because I used to date a girl who lived in on the Tennessee side across from her district. And so I was down there a decent bit, seeing what was going on, and there's a not insignificant number of women breadwinners.
There's some good
because
points in the chat too, fellas. Take a look.
um,
But yes,
specifically because
Yes.
you know, when you're in the really bad parts of the rural South, it's whoever can make the money makes the money.
Yeah.
Because
honey, that's everywhere now.
no, but I mean, like it's bad. It's real bad. Like
Yeah, it never used to be a thing in the South for sure. Yeah, these are some really good things to make note of. Like, I think this is accurate. She was really all in on MAGA, and now that's wrecked. And I think she's really just a victim of the con.
Yeah.
No, and everybody in the chat
That is realizing it out loud in
there's
front of
some
everybody.
Revenge.
I
here.
am.
Yeah.
I mean, somehow I am the one who's the least forgiving on this, somehow, which is surprising to me. But I mean, I think that she is everything in her political career up until now has screamed opportunist. Look
That's
for where people are looking.
Lauren
for
Boebert,
wherever the
These
theme
ideas,
is.
these ideas don't have to be isolated and separate. A lot of these can all
Exactly.
be right at the same time.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
and
think
that's entirely
anyone's
possible.
really fully wrong here.
I don't trust any of her whole vibe. Like, but I don't think. Here's the difference between her and W. I think she's really that dumb and believes the shit she believes, and I think she has no string puller. W had the puppet master.
He had a whole team.
Also,
W
is
had
that
a
why the
whole
flags are
team.
half
He had a
staff? Is there
legacy
like
family.
how long do we have to leave the flags down? Is that Cheney? Is that the reason the fucking flags at City Hall are half staff?
Yes, a long time ago. It should have.
Like,
They
what
should
the
have
fuck
all.
is this shit?
I think it was all Cheney for like how many days for a federal? Yes.
Okay.
I think
Flags should be back up now.
I think that for MTG, I think my thinking is a little bit more multi-tiered on that point, which is I think this is what's happening inside the Republican Party. The reality is that because the Epstein files, there are sources inside the Republican Party that are trying to think post-Trump, that are trying to think what are we going to do after Trump,
Right.
and I think MTG is setting herself up to align herself with post-Trump factions.
She's trying to be the new MAGA,
and she's trying to set herself up. Well, not the new MAGA, because the MAGA is Trump. There's not going to be another MAGA. They can't.
No,
they
it'll be
can't.
the
They
Heritage
can't.
Foundation.
They know
It'll
they
be
can't.
their call.
They know they can't. They know they can't replicate that. But I think that she's trying to set herself up to progress in her career and in her power.
Well, yeah.
Post-Trump, and I think that what she's trying to do is assert some independence from Trump, starting now, so that it's not just, oh, I'm a Trump leftover. Oh, I actually have my own things and my own wants outside of being a Trump lickspittle.
Advocating for the victims is disingenuous. It's all a ploy to just
I don't believe this woman has any as an honest bone in her body. I believe that she simply followed, like she is a better tuned Laura Loomer kind of individual. She's an opportunist 100%. I think that what she's looking at is that one of two things is happening right now. Either the Epstein files are going to blow up so much harder than we think they are.
They will more than Hollywood did. Yes, more than Bill Cosby. Yes.
I'm really worried that those files have been very well cleaned up in the amount
I think
of time
you're right.
they've had.
But they still exist somewhere unredacted
to make it clean.
No, David. I 100% expect anything that might incriminate Trump, which being there and knowing about it should be enough, but we don't live in that world.
No.
Did you read what Borowitz put out there? Andy, the funny guy.
I didn't, but let me throw this at you. It's
not funny.
Full expectation is anything that could be bad is going to be conveniently unavailable due to the current investigation of
Correct.
Democrats.
Yep.
They're going to have classified things. They're going to be stuff that is in the investigation.
Yep.
And then anything left over, there's going to be black
But
Sharpie over the fucking top of it.
Maxwell,
Yep.
there are certain players that hold a lot of cards that own a lot of the things and provided copies to the prosecution. Somebody is going to hold a trump card, pun intended. Women are not stupid when it comes to sexual politics and being abused by men in the system. And she hung out with everybody. And she's still alive. She hasn't committed suicide yet. She's got shit somewhere that I'm just saying.
Yeah, but she's also being given the
yeah, she's trying to be bought right now. I think
treatment.
I will say this. I think
She's
what's
not
going to
dead.
happen. What's going to happen is that
her family
you're
is
right.
very moneyed and very well connected, and they've probably stored a bunch of shit too.
We're gonna get a very half-assed version. No one's gonna be satisfied with it.
Yep.
The pressure is going to remain on Congress to do something about it. We're not going to get a unanimous vote a second time around. I imagine there would be a second vote. I think that there, in my mind, what I think is being set up is a contingency, and this is where I feel like MTG is acting. I feel like there's a contingency being set up for someone to play the role of Goldwater to Nixon.
Yes. I've been waiting for this too. I've been waiting for this too.
Of someone to play the role of Goldwater.
It's all going to play out over the next 6 months.
Of someone to play the role of Goldwater to Nixon, which is, for those of you who don't know what I mean by that, which is Nixon, when the House passed their impeachment vote against Nixon, and Goldwater came to Nixon and said, if the vote was held today in the United States Senate, you would be removed from office. You need to resign.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a because the thing is, Trump is not performing mentally. He's all over the place. He's not fixed affordability.
He's just a figurehead. Everybody's behind him.
And at this point, he is dead weight on the party on a lot of different issues. Yeah. His existence
is
galvanizing.
He's just a mascot.
He's a mascot, but he's galvanizing every single fucking Democrat to and the stupidity of Stephen Miller and his cadre of little wannabe fascists. Because here's the thing: during the first Trump administration, Congress had a hand in his administration, right? His cabinet was picked by congressional Republicans to manage him. Trump came in the second time and said, oh no, I'm not listening to any of these congressional Republicans. I'm picking on my own cabinet. So now congressional Republicans don't have a hand on the till.
Second time around, Heritage Foundation
Yeah.
actually put very well-oiled machine in place, but still gave the appearance that he was picking and choosing. But no, all the strings that you David
congressional Republicans aren't calling up to Pennsylvania Avenue to say, hey, you need to point your boy this way.
They don't have to.
There's no one for them to call. Right, so I feel like there's a push that maybe might be happening and that MTG is a part of, which is, hey, if this continues to blow up and if it continues to be bad, someone's going to play the role of Goldwater to Nixon, walk up and be like, hey, it's time for you to be done. We're going to put Vance in. Are we going to lose the next presidential election? Yeah. But the thing is, we're going to put them. We're going to try and put the Democrats in such a fucking bind, just like they did Carter, that we'll win the next one, and we'll still be in power.
Carter, god damn, I miss him.
I mean that's I feel like that's the game that's on the table right now. The long game that's on the table right now is we let the Epstein files remove the bad man who keeps on threatening us. Like right now, he went off on fucking Indiana Republicans. Like, oh, I'm going to primary all of you for not redistricting the way I want you to.
Putin owns all of this anyway.
He's
keep
firing
the KGB picture in play here.
Isn't-
None of this matters.
he's firing
Isn't
shots
Trump
into
just
his
a
own party.
chowder, though? Like, isn't everything that's going on with him just a chowder of, like, dementia meets malignant narcissism meets rich guy aloof disconnection?
Message from
like,
the therapist, boys. Message from the therapist dealing with a dementia parent. You revert back to your most core personality of who you were as a little boy, little girl, high school, all of that shit.
Yep.
I'm loud and fun and goofy and gonna probably swear and make jokes. I'm gonna be a handful in the home, but I'm gonna be fun. Yeah.
well, that's going to be weird because I won't be very aggressive.
Apparently,
or loud. I'll be
my
that quiet
main thing
nerd.
is
Same.
they're going to have to remove
David,
all
who are
axes.
you in the home?
Yeah, David, what's your?
Are
what's
you
your
are
old
you
folks
fighting
home
the
group?
nurse
They're going to have
for
to
your
remove all
wallet?
axes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Jesus.
I have not, by the way, progressed to another beer, but I want to
Lucas has
share.
seen me with an axe.
I want to share some comedy with you because
I will
and
lumberjack the shit
some
out
of you may
it.
know enough health stuff to understand. I'm not going to give the whole spiel, but I have some new heart health things I'm doing. So a medication that I take makes me someone who shouldn't consume grapefruit, which I didn't know was a thing.
Oh.
And now it's not a huge thing because I'm not like a grapefruit a day kind of person. I love some grapefruit, but I started asking questions because I was like, well, I like craft beer. What about grapefruit IPA? And so I got curious, but like, what is amusing to me is my family now knows this, but yet this is the sparkling water that they are getting. But in the tiny, like, first of all, this is knockoff LaCroix from Aldi. So, like, if LaCroix could be even less flavored, it's this. So, the trace amount of
Math does not compute.
is not a thing. But
Math
it is
does not
kind of
compute.
funny that I had to actually think about grapefruit now. And I went in the kitchen the first time after finding that out to get a sparkling water and look down at the box, and I was like, motherfucker.
Oh, LB can't have grapefruit either.
Really? If you come to Drinking Liberally tomorrow, we have to compare notes. But yeah, I don't mind a little, whatever this is that's probably not natural flavor.
I mean,
I
think, but here's the thing. I don't think MTG is some sort of stupid person walking. I do believe she's stupid, but I believe that her focus at all times is to attract herself to power. I mean, look at which, like, literally, she gets elected and she divorces her husband because he's not enough of an alpha. When everyone is doing the red pill moment around her, she latches on to another guy who's more red pill. I mean, like, every time there's a new meme, a new fad, she latches onto it.
That's fair.
When CrossFit was considered a right-wing thing, she made a point of showing herself doing CrossFit all the time. She literally, that's all she does. And so I think that the only reason she's doing this is that there's a faction within the Republican Party that is setting up for that Goldwater to Nixon moment of getting him out. Because the problem is that he's shooting guns inside the party right now over this redistricting issue, and he's also shooting guns inside the party about, hey, I mean, Republicans could have walked away from this shutdown with a huge fucking win if they just said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to extend the subsidies. And we get to keep everything else.
Right.
And they could have looked at Democrats and said, hey, you stood on this one thing right here, and we get to keep everything else. We get to keep on firing federal workers.
Figure it out.
We get to keep on doing all these other horrible things, but we're going to give you the one thing that you wanted, that you said that you wanted, and they could have kept everything else.
Yep.
Right. It's easy. It's easy
Trump
to
made it impossible for them to do that thing. And why did Trump make it impossible for them to do that thing? Because what's the nickname of the ACA?
Obamacare.
Oh, so you think it comes down to the dick measuring contest with Obama?
Oh, it does.
And
Oh,
racism.
super.
Yeah.
that's reasonable.
White
That is a
supremacy.
decent explanation, because the only other explanation is believable, but also just so far into stupid, which is they genuinely just hate humanity so much they don't want people to have health care, which is
I
really
think that's
great
part of
talking
it.
point to vilify them with and do the twirling mustache villain. But like, I
Well,
don't know.
that's the thing is that Trump
It's
is
just
tracks
greed.
enough.
Trump setting
It's
Trump
just
setting them up
greed.
to be painted into that corner.
Not
They
that
could have
hard.
won.
It's just greed.
They could have won this entire battle
It's
with
just greed.
with an almost gimme, right? That would have protected them, would have made it so that it would have been that much harder at the midterm to fight them. They could have walked away from
Yeah.
this entire thing with at least a 5-point advantage from where they were.
Here's what's
And
so
they
pathetic.
couldn't.
Like the fact that they don't realize the power in numbers, like this whole living in fear of him pushing a primary opponent, like all they all need to do collectively is say, you know what, motherfucker, we have our own MAGA. Fuck off.
All right. So
Fuck
I
off,
had
old man.
I had a big thought about this the other day about, do Democrats ever do this, behave like this? And I had a thought about this.
Behave
And
like
we
which?
do. We do. We have an example of this, and I feel like it's one of the things that where like Schumer and Pelosi come back and continuously become a problem is and the 3 letters JFK.
What?
Everyone who was associated with that administration was like, oh, but we worship the Kennedys. Like, oh, the Kennedys are the solution to everything. Don't you understand? Everything would have been so much better. Everything was so much better because the Kennedys. Everything was like John F. K. was, JFK was so
They
great
kept
and everything.
assassinating them.
Well, I know they're not
But-
wrong though. Like,
We're
I mean,
gonna
but what I'm
assassinate
saying
now.
is they developed this cult around like oh god, what's the commentator's name who keeps on writing fucking books about RFK? Literally that's all he does. I keep on forgetting the commentator.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about.
You
but
all
it's-
kept me up past my bedtime.
I don't know
but
who you're
I mean,
talking about. I can't think about it. Who are you talking about?
Puffy face. Ho ho ho. It kind of looks like Santa. Without a beard.
Wolf Blitzer?
No, without a beard. He has no beard.
Oh, okay.
Chris Matthews?
Yes!
I'm never gonna say it now. That was fucking
Chris-
hilarious.
Chris Matthews. And literally, you cannot have the man.
All you
cannot
would have
show
had to
up-
say is MSNBC.
We see
guy.
Hardball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hardball guy. Yeah.
He cannot show
Chris?
up on a single show without mentioning how much he loves the Kennedys. He cannot show up on a single show without
You're right.
mentioning.
You're right about that. That is a thing. Yep.
And we did have that kind of thing about the Kennedys. I think that
Camelot.
and this whole idea of Camelot and this perfect fucking thing that was going on and this hero worship that we had going on.
So you think it's that with Trump?
I feel like that's where they are with Trump.
That they've replaced the Bush dynasty with Trump, basically.
Yeah.
That's not unreasonable.
It's a rather
feel
hollow dynasty, but yeah, I could see your
Yeah,
point.
This is where they're at.
I don't, as a girl, and having like aspirations for a Jackie Kennedy wardrobe someday in my professional life, and just I'm gonna girl out on you all. I'm like, no.
What,
They're
you
not the same family.
you don't want a Melania wardrobe? You don't want that? You don't.
What did it say? I don't care.
Derelict
No.
import
No.
Eastern
Somebody,
European prostitute is just not your thing.
There was a
No.
story locally
I will
here.
have my elitist snobbery of 1960s New York debutante wives who have a gay friend who writes about all of us and calls us swans. And yes.
But
Speaking
Well,
of-
that was highly specific. Okay.
Speaking
well,
of Melania, there was a local news story about how the tree. There was a tree that came out of a tree farm here in Michigan that's bound for the White House, and I commented on it and I said,
Our
"Oh, I
first
can't wait to
ever in
see what
Michigan.
tacky way they fuck that thing up." Like,
but
just this
I mean,
innocent,
may it
perfectly
bear
beautiful
the
Michigan
emerald
tree.
Yeah, may it bear the emerald ash borer.
But I mean, I feel like that's where Republicans are at. Is that they're at, like, to them in their minds they want to build this as their own Camelot.
Yeah.
And
yeah, but it's nowhere near as classy. There's not the
but
Limoges
because
bowls.
they
There's
don't want
not
classy.
The, yeah.
Well, it's hard to build Camelot on rolled Coke bills and
I mean,
fucking.
They don't have a Truman Capote. They don't have a
pedophilia and cocaine. Just
because
don't
they
have
don't want that.
ring
Like
as
because he's representing these two facets where the Republicans are trying to hold power, which is, on one hand, you have these billionaires and you have Trump gilding everything in sight with gold to show that he's rich. But
You mean spray paint?
Trump is technically old money,
Old
but he
Depot
doesn't
trim.
like new money, and they will never respect new money and that fucking Home Depot decoupage that is all over the Oval Office.
Dude, it's so bad.
He is
It's so
spending it
bad.
like new money.
Have you
and they
seen?
will never...
For those of you who haven't paid attention, but I did happen to catch this article in the Post of how he's redecorated the Oval Office, and he's put these gold Home Depot cherubims,
and they're not even even, and
Yeah,
they're like, there wasn't enough room for the top ones, so they're like out here, and
it's so bad. It's so bad.
You know,
I want to see the Christmas display. I want to see Christmas at the White House.
Most of this stuff that he's done just falls into this tacky category. The East Wing thing,
New money.
like
They're never going to respect it.
the East Wing thing.
Oh no,
really,
they respect it because he keeps on making sure they get richer.
They do not respect new money. These East Side
making them
New
richer.
Yorkers do not.
He keeps on making them richer.
They'll roll with it. They just don't respect him.
No, I mean,
As long as they're making money, they'll roll with it, but they don't respect him.
The East Wing thing really got to me on all the levels. Like, it's one thing to cringe at the Oval Office. It's like, yeah, that's just fucking. It's like he's trolling.
But tearing him.
That pissed off the voters at the doors. I'm at the doors, and I'd be like, "Hi, League of Conservation Voters. I have a ballot initiative." And as they're signing it, or before they'd even sign it, they'd say, "Did you see what he was doing to the West Wing?" And I'm like, "No, it was the East Wing, but I'm glad you're watching something."
Right.
Well, I also want to say this. One of the things that worked about the East Wing, because I've been in the White House multiple times when I worked in the U.S. Senate, and one of the things that is prevalent when you walk into the East Wing, you realize it was actually smaller than you would think it would be. But one of the things that also applied to that made you think about is you got invited to a gathering at the East Wing. There is not that much space here.
Yeah.
You are exclusive. You are special. You have been invited to a gathering, to a banquet at the East Wing.
You got shortlisted.
What Trump doesn't understand, when he's trying to make this grand ballroom, he's like, "Oh, look how much bigger I made this." I'm like, that wasn't the fucking point, you dumbass motherfucker.
You just moved the velvet rope.
You, sir, are invited to sit within this many paces of the fucking president of the United States. Not, I get to sit and bask in some sort of fucking glory. Anyone can fucking do that at any fucking potentate's little fucking, like, made-up palace. You get invited to the East Wing, which is not that big.
Exclusivity.
Well, the two guys,
he's a joke.
The two guys on the other side of the screen have been along for the ride for many more of the years of my awakening to female perspectives on a variety of topics. Mm-hmm. So, Bridget, I want to ask you, because one of my first inklings, I was like, wait a minute, whoa. Isn't this just a giant misogynist slap in the face to women in America, like in a generalized sense? And I looked it up like immediately. Like, am I crazy, or is the East Wing basically the whole like feminine side of the White House?
Yep.
And
Yeah.
That, like, I had to go confirm, make sure I wasn't nuts, and then I, like, digested
Yeah,
that.
we
And
don't
for
matter.
me, that
We-
figures in, and I've
we
been
don't
dying
matter.
to ask a politically oriented woman about it, so I want you to talk about that, because that factor, to me, figures in big time. They're like, not only is he dick measuring with this outsized, architecturally bankrupt concept of a ballroom, but it's the fact that what he chose to do was, you know what, fuck all this shit done by women.
Yeah,
That's
like the
the
Rose
feel-
Garden. Like the fucking Rose Garden.
Right. Yeah.
He doesn't appreciate anything of beauty unless tits and ass are attached to it.
Oh no,
That's
not.
fair.
I want to be very clear. Given some of the conversations that are now coming out of the Epstein emails, I
He
think
doesn't want tits and ass.
He doesn't want tits and
flat boards on both sides.
ass. He with something sticking out at the bottom.
What was the Kanye line? Up top, 2 bee stings. That's
Oh God.
that's Trump's.
No, I always remember the most, like, the comment that I had to replay in my head a little bit. Have any of you all ever seen the movie and the Name of the Rose with Sean Connery?
No.
So anyways, it's this
80s?
old.
You said
80s.
Name of the Rose. It sounds like you mean Name of the Rose.
No, I think
but
I know what he's talking about. It's an
it's
80s
this
movie.
older
I have
monk.
not seen it.
It's this older monk talking to a younger monk, and it's like, beautiful is the woman with but a little. And what he's actually talking about is, I want to fuck boys.
Okay.
Oh, he was Greek. Who knew?
But anyway, I digress. You know, apparently Trump is like, you know, especially all this hypersexualization. You know, it almost starts to sound like Trump. Is the reason you have 3 wives is because you're looking for a beard?
I think we're switching devices.
Yes, I am, and I don't know why this is. Sorry about that.
There, I removed it for you. That was weird.
That was supposed to be seamless. I fucked up.
We found the seams.
Ah!
Oh boy. Yeah, you know, it's jeez.
So,
like,
what did you want to ask me?
that was it. Like, if you detected, like, if
Right.
I was on the money with that observation of the misogyny approach of, you know what, fuck it.
I'll just go back to a quote from Jimmy Carter, who said, if you really just look at the entire world and all of the problems that have befallen them, all of my transgender friends will agree with this, I'm sure, that everything has always been about the dichotomy of gender and the oppression of women and those enacting it around the entire fucking world all the fucking time. Like,
yeah.
What else is there if you can't transcend gender and just get to that dialogue over all of that, nothing else matters. Because our brains are so wired in a binary fashion at go. It's really hard to move on. And I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
mean,
the fact that Mark brought that out, I was just like, already one of my idols, and he's been everywhere, done everything, and kept coming back to that one thing that just bound us all to this planet. It's the battle of gender and superiority. It just is ridiculous.
I mean, I'm going to pipe up with the Marxist literary critique on my end.
Yes, please.
It's all about class. It's all about where like, it isn't just about women. It's also, and especially I would argue, for Trump.
socioeconomic status as well.
It's because the whole point of keeping of oppressing women is about creating a socioeconomic subclass.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is again the whole, when you start to disassemble, the
It
class
still comes
warfare.
It still comes down to procreation, though, and survival of the species, and subverting one over the other, though. Because I've read about it, I've studied it. I went through sociology, psychology classes. I was open-minded. I dress like a boy most of the time when I'm not. Like, this is as feminine as I fucking. And Lucas knows this. Like, I don't own any fucking bows or like. I mean, I can put it on for a fundraiser if I have to fucking play a role because I was a theater kid. But I mean, I wrote a paper on the third bathroom in 1998, for fuck's sake. And so I still ask you, David, to go right down to the proclivity and propagation of species. You guys still win, and we're like subservient in some way, and it just
I think,
and I'm
however,
not like, hey, I'm a victim, but I don't know how many of you men have really looked at the world history and gone, holy fucking shit, that's like a fucking thing. And I get all these stuff, but when Jimmy Carter broke it down like that, and he's just so plain and nice, and like the white man made me think.
I mean, I would say that it's a function of the need to establish especially within a class-oriented society, some sort of distinction of, oh, okay, well, I can pick you apart because you're different somehow. This is super easy. You're going to be less than socioeconomically, but I'm going to be.
How is your lifeline going to survive though without my vagina? That I'm just saying.
They're working on it.
Harder.
Well, I mean, like, so, like, and the reason I point to that is so. Like, say, for instance, right now, like, inside Republican circles, there's actually this really strange movement inside far right wing, the far right manosphere of being very pro-gay and fascist. And why is that?
We are that we'll all cling to each other to get rid of us and then go, wait, we needed some fucking eggs.
Right. I mean, it's like, and for those of you who aren't familiar, there's an online commentator called Bronze Age Pervert, who is actually a professor at Harvard, and I don't understand why he's still a professor at Harvard, other than Harvard has ceased to be an actual functioning academic institution. So anytime anyone wants to be like, hey, what they stood up to Trump, I'm like, I don't give a shit. It's a social club, not an educational institution.
Oh wow,
David,
got a whole ass Wikipedia article.
Oh, Bronze Age Pervert.
Yeah. Damn.
But
that's a whole thing.
I want to throw something in here, just going on the. Oh, we forgot we need some eggs. I wasn't kidding when I said that they were working on that. There's some research that came out in September using skin cells of mice and DNA from 2 male sperm cells to create a functional embryo.
Thank you. Our work here is done. You can all have it. We're going away. You can all do your dishes and bring children, and we're done.
Oh my god!
I'm on fucking vacation. I don't have to do any of this anymore. I don't even have to help the office. You can my butthole.
Holy shit!
You know what's really funny is for some reason your audio is breaking up on my side, and I'm only getting like every other word, and all I got was "you can my butthole."
Yeah, I think your iPhone microphone does not like you as well as your previous
device
option,
and neither does my ADHD, and that was probably just as well.
So back into that speaking of the weird cult,
Raj, and all of this, and yes.
Yeah.
I definitely don't have any high hopes about the Epstein files at all.
No.
Not right now, anyways.
No.
And
I want it yesterday, and I want all of it.
yeah,
And I
Right.
tag me too immediately. And we are going to take down world leaders on every continent, and I want it in trial in The Hague. I want this political, just absolutely.
I won't hit the Hague.
And the one thing that we didn't really talk about there that I want to put in the universe is how much of a shit we don't give if Clinton or others from our side.
I mean, the security's trying to hold over it, and I'm like, if he's guilty,
them. Like
fucking
all of them.
Like,
nail
who
on the
fucking cares? Like the obsessions. Like you mentioned, David, the whole Obama dick measuring contest, but it's the Clintons. The Clintons are also part of that. Like the way that these people are obsessed. Like even I let the Bushes go. Like just let the fucking enemy go. But they can't. They're obsessed. Now, yeah, I'm a little obsessed with Hillary Clinton because I think she's responsible for a lot of the worst things we're dealing with right now because all they had to do was put her together with Bernie and literally all of human history would have changed. But
you guys pick up on all the verbiage that you didn't know that was super secret inner circle pedophile shit? I didn't know what pizza meant. I didn't know what pasta meant. I didn't know all of that. Did you? Because
I haven't picked up that memo yet. Do tell.
I mean, I know about Pizzagate stuff from all those years ago, but pizza and pasta, but I didn't know that was coming back.
Yeah.
Pizza and pasta were dog whistle words for pedophilia, sex trade, all of that. And so the whole Pizzagate thing, like I think John Oliver talked about this a week ago, like exposing like this is me. And now it was just like it was kind of like, okay, they doth protest too much. We didn't know that was a thing. You've now just given a playbook. Let me go back to all your defensive and offensive plays, and now everything. And I'm looking through this 3-ring binder, and I'm just like, oh my good Lord. Why would you tell anybody this? You just gave away the whole, like, that's the other reason I want all of this. Now, one guy happened to be Italian, so pasta just shows up in a lot of his emails.
Yeah, he was the one that was targeted originally in the pizza.
I also want to say one other thing that I think that Trump is very upset about, and I feel like it is tied to this from what we've already seen. There's a strong indication from my analysis, from reading what's already been released, is that there was a symbiotic relationship between Mar-a-Lago and Epstein's Island, which was the symbiotic relationship was that Epstein would want to see if you're the sort of guy who wants to go have sex with underage girls by meeting you at Mar-a-Lago.
David, are you saying that Mar-a-Lago was the munch and Epstein Island was the house party?
Yeah.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
Got it. Some people know what I just said, and some people don't, and you won't get it explained to you.
Yeah, fair enough. No, that
at Mar-a-Lago, if you made it to the final interview, we go to the island.
Right.
And so what I think part of what is bugging Trump about this, I feel like just as much as his name being in this, is Trump has so much of his identity tied up in his popularity of his clubs. And I think that even if he's not directly prosecutable from what's in the Epstein files, I think he's very upset about the idea that Mar-a-Lago may be painted with the same brush that Epstein's Island is. And I think that upsets him very much because he looks at Mar-a-Lago as this extension of himself, of his glory. And now it's being painted. It's already been painted with the brush of, oh, you store classified documents in the fucking bathroom, you fucking tool. But now it's also painted with the brush of, oh, this is where I get to find out if I get to go fuck underage girls.
No, David, I think we're all there. I don't think Trump is. I think he's so here, and he's got such a camaraderie of this person's going to cover this person. He's not there.
But the idea that Mar-a-Lago might be brought into disrepute, because he looks at that at like, if you want to go genuflect, if you want to go apply tongue to Trump taint, where do you go? Do you go to the White House? No.
Right.
You go to Mar-a-Lago.
You go to the staging the green room.
So I'm fantasizing about a future where we undo so much of the fuckery. And I think I came up with a name. If the ballroom gets built, which I really hope that it gets disrupted somehow. I really hope something happens that like it all just
I want to see it left as a half-built piece of shit. I want it to be left as a monument to every other president that follows, to be like, listen, you see this shit? Do you see this shit? This is what you don't fucking do.
So here's what I want to do. I want to name it the Barack Obama American Welcome Center for First Generation Citizens, and just fuck with it. And here's the thing that I'm worried about, and this gets me back to my Gavin thing, which from the list is the Democrats that might run for POTUS. David and I had some show notes earlier. I would love it if we could get somebody that would do that kind of trolling, and I don't think we will, and that's going to be really unfortunate.
Yes, we will.
Yes, we will. Well, actually, Gavin might, because he's been like the troll master.
Yeah.
I have so many young people that are thirsty for a digital assignment to do this kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, fuck yes.
And, and that might be where it takes place. Like, it takes place as digital gags or whatever, while the real stuff is...
David looks like he's about to bust a grumpy. Look at his face.
I mean, because fuck Gavin Newsom. Fuck Gavin Newsom so fucking hard.
Bust a grumpy!
No, they want Michigan to be fucking cool and hip and Gretchen.
Listen, I am literally... there were so many other people I would rather have than Gavin Newsom, including
that's what
Lord Vermin Supreme.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about that for a second, because I think like if you don't believe that he's shaping up a run, then you're
he's shaping up a run. The only problem is that the man is tied to one of the major problems that we're having, which is the consistency of the Democratic Party to literally bend over, grab both cheeks, and spread them wide every time big tech or someone else wants to have a moment of, oh, please, fuck me harder.
That's not wrong, but I don't know if we're going to go back, like, as far as we would have wished we were. Like, I think we have a whole history, like, our whole timeline got fucked, right? Like, fucked enough that I watched some guy's YouTube video about how the Y2K actually, like, deleted society and we're all in a simulation ever since.
You know what? It might be true. It might be true.
But, like, the thing that gets me is if you rewind back, like, technically, as much as I hate to say it, the mistake was that we got a President Obama before we were prepared for it.
Yeah.
And that's what fired up all these...
No.
That's what fucked everybody up and got them all so...
You didn't go far enough back, Lucas.
Fucked.
Yeah, seriously. The mistake was Reconstruction.
Yep. Well, okay. Yep. You're right, but I'm trying to think in a little bit more of it. Like, little things that I've thought about, like...
I'm a Southerner, and the mistake was you all didn't shoot enough of us.
I'm 100% with David on this. This is what I agree as well.
That is reasonably true. That probably the rebellion wasn't fully prosecuted as much as it needed to be.
Always going to agree with me. This goes back to Carter Reagan. And what was the Philadelphia experiment? And some shit went awry right around then. And here we are.
What? You mean trying to jam radar?
I'm just saying.
So when you look at
No.
ideally,
And from Reagan onward is so fucked up with our economy and everything.
that's true.
Well, the Philadelphia experiment was all about trying to jam radar in World War II, but
all right.
And then like a ship disappear or something that they thought on the data.
And they turned it up too high, and they made everyone freak the fuck out because.
So here's what I'm 100% sure.
The magnets were like fucking jacked to 11.
Yeah,
I'm 100% sure that the Democratic Party has to run a white male presidential candidate.
Swalwell, please Swalwell.
Everybody's got their big
Swalwell.
Gretsch. Everybody got their big Gretsch boners.
No.
Everybody's got their will Jasmine Crockett enter the primary boner. None of that is going to play. We wish it would. It would be great.
Strip him down to a goddamn
where we
banana
are.
hammock and send him into Iowa.
And Fire Island. He will go to Fire Island in a banana hammock and Saugatuck. We will get him to Saugatuck, Michigan at the dunes as well. Lucas, you should.
I'm looking for the most flattering photo of Falwell that I can find.
Swalwell is such a Chad looking face. Like
He is.
Well, all I heard was swall. Somebody swall.
Yeah. Oh, here's a decent one. That one's good. Let me see if I can load. Well, no. Now you're right, John. The Chad part really.
Yeah.
It is. He is mega Chad.
he is Chadly as fuck.
What? Am I missing a
Put a
photo?
nice Chad photo of him up. Just do it.
Yeah, put a nice Chad photo of Swalwell up.
Oh my
All right.
God.
Let me find my favorite Chadism. Oh, there we go. It's a little bit smoldery.
Go ahead.
Is the one with
Throw
him
it up.
leaning back a little bit, or what?
Yeah.
Let's see what this looks like. All right. Oh, let's see if it even works. It's a WebP.
Oh, you copied out a Google search.
Yep.
I hate how they containerize it in that.
There you go.
Dude, put that guy up. Not fucking Gavin Newsom with too much fucking hair dye. Put that guy up.
Technically he has the same volume of hair that Newsom has. It's just that 40% of it is on his chin.
Way too scruffy. Sorry.
This dude looks like he works at Stargate Command, and I'm about to go on a mission.
Right?
He's a B-roll movie character done.
You know what? That's how Reagan got elected.
Swalwell.
B-roll movie character out of California. That's how we got Reagan elected. Holy shit! I feel the power right there.
So, I don't remember the whole list of some of the main contenders I've heard batted around, but Gavin's obvious. I could live with the Swalwell piece of this equation. I'm afraid. I know that I'm being cynical, but I'm afraid the Democratic Party can't even fuck with a woman as VP right now.
Okay.
No.
I think we shit the bed. Thanks, Kamala, and
well, you know what? That I'm going to be very clear that it wasn't her fault.
That wasn't her fault. That was
Biden's fault.
Biden's fault.
Point.
It is her fault that she couldn't answer the fucking question what she would do differently than her boss. That is her fucking fault.
Sure, but that's one misstep versus a lot of problems that
Biden. I want to be very clear why we're in this situation. To begin,
it is Biden's fault ultimately.
Biden told everyone at the beginning, "I want to be."
It's the people who decide.
No, I'm 100% sure that Joe Biden wanted to die face down on the Resolute desk.
He did.
Absolutely sure that his ego blended with statesmanship in a weird mania that none of us normal people can understand had him trying to die in the Oval.
I really don't think so. I think that they were so impotent that they couldn't come up with anybody else.
No, they could have come up with someone else. Biden definitely sat there and said, but no, and a lot of people, when Biden ran, a lot of people made the case that a lot of his case was this: hey, I'm a boomer, but we're not all bad. Let me try and fix this. And the problem was that of course he got through he got to the end of his first term, and a lot of shit still hadn't been fixed. Mostly because he didn't have the balls to look Trump the abuses that Trump had done in the face and say, no, we're never going to do this again. He said, no, I'm going to be an institutionalist. I'm going to preserve the institutions of the republic by not rocking the boat and not punishing the bad man. And then when his shit hadn't been fixed, he sat there and he looked at it and said, well, I need another try. Even though we told people I'm only here for one term. If he had held to that promise,
he didn't make that promise. He said he might.
That's right. Okay. He made that promise. I'm here to refute that, David.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to actually roll with that as a campaign promise. The elites said, no, we don't do that. You can't step down after one term. We are already in office. You are staying there. Whether it is for the good of the people, we all know once people have power, they don't want to let it go. And we have fucked up so much as the Democratic Party. We wanted to keep him there, whether he was the best candidate.
The leadership of the Democratic Party, I don't think the rank and file, I don't think the rank and file did, because the problem is that Biden could have gone down in history as one of the greatest statesmen in the history of the goddamn republic by saying,
He still will. He still
will. Nah.
I don't think so.
Nah.
I think he shit the bed by not getting out of the way.
All clinging to that debate, but when you look at nerd historian people and Biden's record and what happened after COVID, you will all come out of this malaise and you will have a refreshed sense of all of that. I was still there a few months ago. I still believe the same way you do right now, but I have had a fresh perspective on that. And
that is fair to say over time, the perspective such, but I like this Mayor Pete vibe I'm hearing from comments as a VP.
No,
I think we could digest.
I love Mayor
that.
Pete. I love Mayor Pete. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I only just heard this 96 hours ago. Bridget's on her third glass of wine. Thank you both. Stayed up past my bedtime. So, and I'm like 46 now. So I'm going to do the best I can with this perimenopause brain. Woman left in the podcast. Yay, she understands me. I can't say his name, but I swear to Jeebus, that's a Simpsons quote, that there is a Kennedy that is up and coming.
Oh, yeah.
That I like, it's not the redhead host that I was thinking of because he's an ambassador for a while, but it's a different one.
It's Jack Schlossberg.
Yeah.
Yes, he sounds like a fucking German Jew. He does. I would know.
I just love that he's being interviewed about RFK, and he's like, I don't know what the fuck happened to him. I mean, that's the whole vibe that he's bringing to the discussion.
My cousins. So anyway, like the whole Camelot thing, it'll be nostalgic for the 70s and the 80-year-olds and whatever, but they've all still stayed adjacent to politics. They are there. We just haven't had a cool, sexy one in a while. And I've been paying attention to this. Everybody wants the Kennedy throwback Obama type guy. And I don't know, Lucas. I mean, like, you just typed away like 96 hours ago. What do you see so far?
You know, I think he needs to be in office and have something first. I don't think that we've got that guy coming along soon.
Yeah, I don't even know his part is he? Is he Massachusetts, Connecticut? Like,
he's running for Congress.
Also,
Pull it back up.
I hate to be the staunch little r Republican in the conversation, but fuck political dynasties.
That's fair.
No
Let's see.
offense.
Running
He can
for
go fuck
House
himself.
from New York City.
oh, hey, David, do you know what everybody loves here in Michigan?
What's
The
that?
Romney family.
Yeah.
Political dynasties, brother. The
Yeah.
Romney family. My dad's a Romney Republican. We don't say Reagan Republican here. When
That's
you're
true.
not a we say, oh, you're a Romney Republican, and everybody understands you're not crazy,
Right.
but you're not going to sure you're the other black.
You're not
lady.
crazy, but you're not giving anything to the takers.
I mean, here's the thing that we have with our political dynasties, at least in my city, which is this: the Hills had the good sense 100 fucking years ago to remind themselves to stay the fuck out of politics and just stay literally. They are the Hills. Stay literally up on their hill. They have a hill. They have a house on the hill. It is a thing.
Wow.
The Garretts,
So
not
many-
so much.
The Garretts, not so much. The DeMumbrians, and with the exception of maybe the Brileys, the rest of those families had the good sense to be like, you know what? We made our money. We will give patronage. We aren't putting our name in the hat no more, because you know what?
David,
Because we're just gonna
David,
we're
can
just gonna
you do
piss people
something?
off.
Can you tell them to talk to me and Lucas and the DeVos family here in Michigan?
The
Well,
Hills.
see, that's the
Hills
part
and the
he's not
Frits-
telling you, Bridget, is that some of those families did the background player. Like you take the Cheeks have always
Yeah.
played in politics, but from the operational end of things. And the name wouldn't mean anything until I tell you that the Cheeks started Maxwell House Coffee, and then you'll have the AHA. Yeah. So
And
like-
like the old and again, the Hills are still the Hills and the Frists are still families of import in the city, but they've made it very clear. Like, and also the current branch of the Frist family is not exactly.
I mean, they would fit right into the Trump party.
Yeah, they would. But I also say like they're not. How can I put this nicely? So if I got a cornfield and
Are they running backwards?
Don't put him. Don't put him in a maze. How's that? That's a nice way of putting that. Don't put them in a maze. They're very nice people. I've met them multiple occasions, mostly because the Frists are one of the more open families about meeting people. So everyone's met them a few times. They're a little bit more community oriented, but yeah. The Hills, well, they might all be, inbred eunuchs sitting up there in that mansion, and nobody would know.
So,
You got to fight, huh?
what about the usual suspects that never make it? Like, Vibra hair.
Opie?
No, well, there's that. But
Opie.
Fuck is Vibra hair?
Vibra hair. I can't. Who's the gal with the hair that shakes every time she speaks in public? Crap, David. You. She has a weird name.
Murkowski?
No, she ran for president in the last two primaries. Why can't I think of? Yes, Klobuchar with the vibrating hair.
Oh,
So-
yeah. Klobuchar. And Princess Stardust.
Oh God, I hope we can just keep from having that whole like
Princess Stardust.
Williamson.
Oh,
Is
come
that-
on. Yeah,
He's
Williamson.
No more Williamson. They need all the nutsos need to stay the fuck out. I can't. Like we don't have any time to be fucking around. I'd rather have a primary
so
with 3 serious candidates, and I include Gavin in that, but like 3 serious candidates that really have a shot than an 8-person lineup of fucking wackos to keep us distracted for 4 months.
You're a wealthy man from Illinois. Look up the Pritzker family.
Oh,
They
I
go
could see
back-
JB. I could see him getting in it.
Holy shit.
But here's the thing:
He
is
was of contenders before Kamala, and just looking at old Hollywood shit and what they've built into that one property and the garage storage of vehicles. I was just like, wait, who is this?
Yeah.
hey, Lucas, future reference.
Grand Rapids.
Don't.
People were in the room with a billionaire.
I've made that mistake at the brewery.
Yeah, this is foul.
No, I
Does it
on
taste
one
like cough syrup.
on one of a
Yeah.
couple of recent, like well, not recent, but in the years since I've lived up here, I have stopped there on the way to Nashville and gotten a flight and remember encountering that one and going, oh, that ain't.
This
David,
is a mistake
did
that
it get exposed to air far too long, or
what?
did it get exposed to air far too long? I know
Oh,
you
no.
did go on a
No,
It's just bad.
So what I can tell you exactly what happened to this because I've worked in a brewery, which is that what this is. So there's a point when you're brewing beer that we call diesel, right?
Oh, mm-hmm.
Because if you open it up and you smell it and you taste it, it smells and tastes like diesel. What this is a beer that, and it is a not uncommon occurrence that when you're brewing a beer, for whatever reason, the yeast just quits and it stays in diesel.
Yeah, the air got trapped wrong. It's the same thing with wine.
Yeah.
You know, me and my top, I mean.
So actually, that's why we had the advent of sours in the United States was because the way you get the way you can fix a diesel is to try and turn it into a sour. So they tried to turn what is diesel into this tart cherry. The problem is they failed. It is still diesel. This is definitely fucking still diesel. Am I going to drink it? Yes. Do I have a problem? Not according to at least 4 out of 5 guidelines. But
so I'm interested in this gamesmanship over who's in the lineup. I think you've got some Wes Moore options.
Oh.
I would like to see Wes Moore and Cory Booker show up in the primary and duke it out to see who can be the most tokenized by the Democratic Party.
Oh my God. Social media has been on fire. There's been a whole campaign there for 3 months now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's jockeying for position in the Kentucky Derby.
All right, it's time for us to send John back into Elon's hole.
Yeah, I was about to say, I know you wrote that, and then I thought about your wife, and I'm like, no, that's a legitimate outcome.
Oh, I didn't read the whole advanced penalty scenario. My wife don't get killed before she goes to sleep. Yeah,
that's a legitimate outcome.
Yeah.
No, very late.
All right, John. Thank you, dude. It was good to see you. As always.
It's good to see y'all.
And we'll sign you out. And
Bridget's just like, I've been drinking. I don't give a shit. I'm going to keep on rolling with this shit, which is what we've been doing. Because
good to see you, man. Thank you.
Good to see y'all. Bye.
Have a good night, man.
Now we have the trio. What do we do here? This is good. All right, there it is.
There we go. That's better.
And we're going to wrap up in a minute anyway. So let's see. What else is on my list? I'm going to skip some random shit. Like there's enough.
No, don't skip anything. We can keep talking about Epstein next for the presidency.
Well, no, we did actually have a list to start with, and the problem is that like it's been kind of like we've hit most of it.
Well, the thing I think we should curve back to is I don't think we have to talk. ICE sells itself. It's been such a fucking.
I will say this: it is the big thing about them.
I just keep waiting for something to touch off. I keep waiting for like a really.
Well, no, because it already has.
Moment.
And that's the thing is none of us realized it, which is they hit Chicago and it was a complete fucking failure.
Right.
Which is why they're shifting to Charlotte.
Portland was hilarious.
Because they're trying to shift it to a red state to try and cover themselves because they tried to do it in California and it didn't work the way that they wanted it to. They tried
Indiana.
What?
Indiana Indiana is not redistricting. That's fresh news.
That
Indiana.
I heard that, but at least with the ICE thing is that they tried to do it in LA. It didn't kick off the way that they thought it would. They got a lot of opposition and a lot of lawsuits about their guys shooting innocent people, and a lot of evidence about their guys actually not behaving anywhere. Like, there's going to be a lot of lawsuits and a lot of criminal investigations once all this is done, especially from the LA raids. Operation Midway, they tried to curb some of the criminal activity by their officers because they understood now that there were more cameras on them. But on the other hand, that also made them ridiculously less effective than in their terror campaign, which is why now they're trying to shift to a new city, Charlotte, to try and reboot the terror campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't because,
Charlotte,
again, they're already ready with the cameras. They're already ready with everything else. Bovino's going into a jail cell for the rest of his fucking life once Trump is gone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no doubt. I mean,
a bunch of these motherfuckers are going to flee the country, and I would almost bet you anything it'd be South Africa due to the network. But
they're going to El Salvador. Maybe
Venezuela.
No, they're going to El Salvador, because that's actually one of the things that's actually come out is that some of the people who were disappeared into CDOT, El Salvador's anti-terrorism prison, had evidence against Bukele. Because for to kind of put this together, so Bukele is this neo-libertarian president of El Salvador. He came to power on this pledge of economic revitalization and anti-corruption.
Oh, all about this. Albie can talk to you all about this.
And so he comes to power. He tries to convert the entire country's currency over to Bitcoin. And by the way, while he's doing this, he's getting a shit ton of money from Silicon Valley to be a test bed of, we're going to test out, like, we're going to change your entire currency over to Bitcoin. It doesn't work at all, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin.
I know. I saw the Park episode.
He tries to carve out these free economic zones, where now you have especially medical companies doing medical testing without any supervision, and now a lot of people are having questions about what the fuck is going on inside some of these free economic zones about human experimentation. Especially like it's seriously like Twilight Zone style of like, hey, my cousin went there to go work and he didn't come back.
Yeah, our veteran friend in the chat is actually speaking to this. It's fucking scary. So
Bukele does all this shit, and then Bukele gets fed up with MS-13, and so he decides he's going to go to war with MS-13. So he launches all these grand offensives, and then all of a sudden, all the offensives work. And everything stops. And MS-13 stops being a problem inside the country. Well, apparently some of the MS-13 captives that they had inside the United States had evidence that Bukele had struck a deal with MS-13 to make the violence stop. In other words, he basically turned his own country into a narco state.
I'm waiting
those
for
those defendants, those leaders of America, of the American branch of MS-13, very quickly somehow got turned back over to El Salvador.
It's a whole creepy, dirty.
That'll be that. I just don't expect. I'm very pessimistic that anybody will get the justice they deserve, which, as I've pretty openly stated, I consider public execution. But
well, I mean, you've heard my preferred form of public execution, and that is not.
David, what is that?
We're not going to repeat that.
I forgot. I mean,
well, remembering that smoke very often, in terms of burning people at the stake, smoke killed people before the fire did. So therefore, it's important to hang them upside down.
Oh, right. Yeah. So speaking of the South American countries, the Venezuela dog wagging is something from the list that we didn't talk about yet.
Which it's entirely wag the dog.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, if we do send in, like right now, they're like, oh, we're going to send in the Marines. To do what? To die? Because that's what they're going to do.
You think?
I mean, if we were going to invade Venezuela, it would take at least 14 to 15, possibly 2 years of prep.
No, it wouldn't.
No.
We could do this, yes.
I can't wait till the inevitable commentary from Albie starts to land in the
I mean, but here's the thing. So in terms of invading a country, but you send 4,000 Marines into Venezuela right now, tomorrow, next week, right?
Lucas and I just laughed at you so hard the cat ran out of the room.
If you send 4,000 Marines into Venezuela next week, we're gonna be pulling out 3,500 body bags.
You think so? You think there's like a really well trained guerrilla warfare body?
No. It's not about. We win wars through logistics. Albie, tell me I'm wrong. You hey, Albie, you want to?
You were just told that you're wrong.
Albie, I did.
Easier than Greenland is the best possible.
See, I agree with Albie. I fucking David. Albie's right. You're wrong. This is.
First of all, I don't think any of it's going to happen. I think it's a bunch of this.
I mean, well, no. Here's the thing. We'll establish air superiority. This is how an invasion of Venezuela will play out. We'll establish naval and air superiority almost immediately. We will establish the ability.
It's fucking Vladimir. It's Vladimir Putin who wants the Venezuelan oil, and Trump, his boy. We don't even factor into this. Hello, Jesus.
Well,
That's true. That's fair. So
Fallujah all day long.
I did remember something on the ICE thing. So I went to City Commission last night, and I was in my comments. I basically was pointing out it's been 90 days since the last Commission Night Out meeting where Commissioner Belchak mentioned that the demands of local activists against ICE and in favor of sanctuary city measures were already maybe met by a lot of the policies and practices of the city. And I was talking to the mayor after the meeting, and he said, well, some of that really isn't, though. Well, it was funny because he walked up to me after the meeting. He said, I think you got over your skis on your rhetoric a little bit. And I said, yeah, what by what? He said, well, you said that we might not have the guts to say if we do meet those demands, but I've been saying it. I've got the guts. I said, yeah, but David, you're 1/7 of the body. And until the whole body has the guts, I get to stand at the microphone and say that you don't. And he was like, well, yeah, okay. That it was kind of funny to watch his ego digest that, because I think he assumed I was only talking to him. It's like, motherfucker, I'm talking to you guys plus Mark fucking Washington. And so we got to talking about it, and he said some of their demands are just idiotic, though. And I said, well, I want you to name one. I'm interested. And I didn't know this was a demand, but apparently they want the city to deny rentals of buildings to ICE in the city limits of Grand Rapids. That is a dumb shit fucking demand. That is literally impossible. It's impossible.
No, actually, it's not.
A city can't just swoop in and tell a landlord who they can and can't rent to. They could pull a rental permit away from them if they bother to permit. And in commercial buildings, okay, maybe. But this one just makes no sense.
I know. There shall be no. What is that in the Declaration of Independence? We don't have to fucking house
the Third Amendment.
Yeah.
The no quartering of troops. I want to point out that's only been only tried in front of the Supreme Court once, in the entire history of the Republic, and they lost.
Yeah. But when was that? It was so long ago. It was absurd.
It was 1978.
In order to do that, though,
Nixon or Carter?
in order to do that, though, aren't you crossing the Rubicon of domestic law enforcement versus military? Like, if you were to try to flex that, that is an interesting angle. But if you were to try to flex that notion, you would be making equivalency of a, granted it's federal, but a federal policing agency being elevated to the same as a military group, and I thought that amendment covered the military, not the police.
Well, okay, so the case that made it before the Supreme Court was actually about prison guards.
No. Okay, so this. So what it does is it makes them quantify and name the Proud Boys as covert surveillance, all of the air scenario, ICE related, not official agents and paid by the government, because we know Trump's not paying them. They're just doing this out of the goodness of their evil hearts.
Yeah.
Did they paycheck? Can we prove that in the court of law? Show me your pay stub. We will, and we'll do that with an attorney that will fight as if they are defending their rights, but it's all just a ruse to get the exhibit A, B, and C to.
Now, so I mean, here's the thing: you can state as a state government that private individuals may not rent their property to federal agencies. That's an easy.
So no Airbnb said people. Okay.
That's an easy blanket statement. You can refine that down. All right, let's refine that down. Mm-hmm. You can refine that down to this. So within our state, it is illegal to rent to federal law enforcement agencies. That is still within federalism.
Okay, but none of this gets done in the city, which is often a problem that we deal with locally.
That is not.
With everybody from random Yahoo at the microphone,
because the city is not an actor inside the federal construct. The city is only an actor inside the state construct. The state is the actor within the federal construct.
So it's still a stupid demand to make of the mayor, is what I'm getting.
Yes.
Okay.
So we shall use Dana Nestle's authority to then. So
isn't she running for something? Governor?
Yep.
No, I didn't think she was declared.
I thought she was going to run.
Yeah, she's running for governor.
I thought she was going to run for something.
Dana Nestle is running for governor. When was
is it that or Secretary of State? Is it Benson? Benson's running.
Benson's running for governor.
Benson's running. Sorry. Nestle's not running for anything yet.
No, she doesn't want that.
I think she's in the wings for some sort of appointment later.
Yeah, like fuck that. She doesn't want that.
She doesn't need to run for anything. She can just get appointed as Attorney General or something.
Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
But no, but a city, so because the city is not a federal actor, only a state is a federal actor, they can pass laws.
Well, that's
not
not likely happening in the next 4 years in Michigan. So
but the city cannot, because the city is not a federal actor.
Anyway, so really what I'm getting at is, like, I was interested to hear him bring up something that was actually legitimately a stupid and undoable thing. But in a lot of cases, they may have ways that they could talk about how they're serving some of these demands. I've just been fucking over it with watching the back and forth. Like, there's been plenty of time. There's not just the one commissioner thinks this. Multiple commissioners think that they may meet these demands already. Mayor thinks so, but they can't get the fucking snail's pace apparatus of their own fucking government to spit out the communications and the explainers that talk about it.
We're in Grand Rapids, Midwest, nice territory. It's a fucking horrible game.
Yeah, which today I just demonstrated the biggest difference between my level of effectiveness and that bullshit, because I put dicks on cones and stole 10 of them for 5 days and got a response in 40 minutes from an email to executives and got shit handled. And we can't get a goddamn stop sign put up without begging forgiveness from the state. So, yeah.
That doesn't make any fucking sense. What?
Oh, dude, don't even. So
You can't put a stop sign in without state approval?
When I initially asked about just making multiple four-way stops along Walker Avenue here to help with the traffic issue, the reckless driving, the speeding, one of the things I was told was, well, that actually doesn't really do anything because they'll just blow the stop sign. Well, okay, but like you only get to do that out of the odds so many times before you don't have a car. And then they said, well, psychologically, when people have to stop, they take off fast, so it really just creates a different kind of danger.
What?
Okay, whatever. But the big thing that they lean on is this, I don't know the proper name for it, but there's a Michigan Traffic Control Manual of standards that comes from the state that dictates to these people who lack spines and imagination what they should and shouldn't do. And what I've been saying since I got here, and I said it to the mayor in my coffee meeting with her early on, I don't want a mayor that lives in fear of a bullshit state manual written by a bunch of yokels doing standards for a mostly rural state. I want a city mayor that will go Trump on it and say, I put the stop sign in, sue me.
What would you people do with a roundabout? I know I'm
be very confused and drive over the middle of it. We have answers for that.
Yes, we want more of them and still don't understand them.
Yeah, I think we just want more of them because Carmel, Indiana has 100. So the stop sign thing for me pisses me off because I all of a sudden have echo. What happened?
Because my earbuds died.
Oh, neat. So I basically they don't want to do it because they think they'll be overruled by the state. But my problem is you could win that PR battle. Because if you put up stop signs in the name of safety, and then the state comes and says, you got to take those out, they don't meet the fucking bullshit manual, then your job as an elected leader and a person who controls the fucking bully pulpit is to go to the media and tell the whole city that the state's trying to help you get people killed. And let them be the villain. Like, Trump's a piece of shit, but there's some stuff that he's a master of, and that's one of them. Do what you fucking want to do, and then dare them to come for you. And then make them into the bad guy somehow with your constituency. So, whatever.
Just operate like the mafia.
So the funny thing is they told me they'd be better off putting in traffic lights because traffic lights have such a high investment that the state's not likely to tell them to undo it. It's like none of it makes any fucking sense. So,
I mean, I have to say, this
Are you in your headphones?
Yeah.
Yeah, still have echo.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Hold on. Let me see where the mic is picking up from.
Oh, I can control your mic from here, I found out, which is kind of neat.
Oh, well, make sure it's coming from...
It's your microphone.
Three
it's too loud on my headphones. Hold on one second.
Oh, yeah. You got them turned up too high, Grandpa.
3 minutes.
Oh, you're on your 3-minute warning?
Yeah.
I mean, really, like I've just lost all my patience for bullshit and my patience.
Any more echo?
Thoughts,
Fucking around. I don't think
final
so.
thoughts, gentlemen, from the whole evening. Final thoughts.
Well, I guess the thought would be to leapfrog from your West Michigan Nice. Part of the reason why David and I talked about, like, let's just let this hiatus for a minute. Part of it was I had this fantasy of, like, we could do this thing and then get breweries to, like, let us come and host and give us free samples or maybe even sponsor. Then I got here, Bridget, and I learned none of them fucking would ever do that. It doesn't matter. I don't think I could get Vivant, like the most outwardly liberal that I can think of. Yeah. Because everybody's still so pansy about drawing the line. about like I asked them once and they were like, you could come here and broadcast, we'd be okay with that, but we're never going to be official because we just don't want to alienate part of our customers. And it's like, you fucking wusses everywhere. And then I thought, well, maybe we could get Untapped to be like the official something or another. But it's just the lane is so narrow for making this pay for itself.
You have to do it in Detroit. You have to do it in Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, this is always going to be a passion project for us. And I think that the thing is, for us, the challenge has been we've been willing to do this as a passion project for a long time and keep it going. I think the challenge is that when it starts putting more demands on our time, then we're willing to kind of put this to the side as opposed to other things that we have to do in our lives. And I think that especially doing this as a video, especially doing this as a variety of things, it's just the way we've been doing it. It's been taking too much, and the platforms that we've been operating on, it's
they're
just
expensive,
taking too much of our time to make it rational
and
for us to do this.
And that was the one thing that Chai points out. Midas touch, like I thought, that'd be a thing. Is like see if I could get someone else to want to pick it up as one of their things, but that the content's in the can for that. We can pick the best 3 episodes and send that to people and say, imagine what we could do if we had your apparatus. And that might be a thing to do in the future. But like,
so
it just...
I got you. It's Detroit. This Detroit energy, they don't take no for an answer. They fucking kill everything they do, like with awesomeness and fucking vibes and energy and just...
Seth, the question that you answered.
Nobody will tell you no there.
Restream.
This is the fucking Motown people.
This that you're seeing.
We were on StreamYard. We switched over to Restream. And unfortunately, like we've had a lot of fights with
it'd be about $20-$25 a month. And the problem is that when you can't do a reliable matchup of your schedules.
I got people. Lucas on December 5th. I'm going to connect you with somebody from the Detroit Music Awards and Foundation of Detroit Music. Everything that there ever was, they're actually going to be in Grand Rapids for a show. And somebody who was a Grammy nominated artist, they're all going to be in town at the same time. We will figure this out. I will connect you gentlemen, people.
We've thought more about audio.
Nah, fucking Detroit gets shit done. Fuck Grand Rapids, but there's a whole thing.
We've thought about the audio thing as a potential avenue. Part of it is also, and we didn't touch on this at the beginning, and it's a good thing to mention now, because the next thing I have that you and I both have would be tomorrow night's Drinking Liberally. I took stock this year of like what makes me feel right when I'm done, and the reality was. This is tedious to have to wallow in the shit of Trump on a regular basis became just this idea of like, oh, fuck that.
When we first started this, so
it was pandemic. We were very bored. We were also doing our American duty, and we had been mortally offended by January.
Yeah, I know. Like so like when we started this,
it's my tech.
We were doing this in the basement of Lucas's house. He happened to have a webcam, and we started doing this, and there was our weight event, and we didn't have a lot of other options, I feel like we did our venting and we did it well. I think Lucas has a point though about the wallowing part. It is hard week after week to revisit.
People. I'm going to introduce Detroit if you want to pass the torch. That's all I'm saying.
And here's the other thing.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is I don't necessarily know we want to pass the torch. We've talked about different ways that we want to do this.
Mostly we're taking a think break.
We're taking a little bit of a break. But I mean, I think part of the frustration is that we do really enjoy this, and we want to talk to people, and we want to promote conversations, and we want to promote really insightful discussions about what's going on, and like Lucas and I have had some epic conversations about and that have educated both of us, and educated a lot of our listeners about stuff that's going on. I think the hard part is that right now it's blow by blow by blow by blow, and at a certain point your brain has to start.
All right, which one of you
Right.
is secretly working on a Rubik's Cube next to the microphone?
Your brain has to prioritize what's going on around it, and we've been so focused. Oh no!
Bridget blipped. I think the sound we heard was her phone dying.
Oh,
Maybe? I don't know.
But I mean, again, for those of you who are watching, we've been so focused for so many years on what's been going on, and it's really hard now for just simple mental health of categorizing what's going wrong and discussing how it can be better. And
well,
because
and the thing that like I mentioned about what do you come away from? Like I host Drinking Liberally every month, and this year it exploded to where we have, like, tomorrow night at the Meanwhile, we will have half the place filled with our people because we're moving inside due to the colder weather now.
Yeah.
And like I was talking to the manager and the owner just to make sure we have a plan of like how are we going to do that, and they're going to put together the tables for about 15 seated. And I said, well, everybody can just mingle, but I'm going to encourage people to actually disperse at 8 when the end time of the event is, so that the evening crowd, because that place doesn't really get busy till about 7:30 or 8.
Yeah.
So we make sure that there's room for like regular crowd to come in and hang, but then also the regular crowd is pretty compatible with our politics anyway. So there's a lot going on with that. Burnout definitely has been a factor, but also just making the time to dive in and do the things. The reward comes from that. And David and I have had a conversation where I told him, like, man, I wish you were here because it'd be easier.
Yeah, I mean, like, and that's one of the challenges is like from where I've been traditionally for the past 3 years, has been I can't, like, now I'm kind of looking at, oh, maybe I can start attending our own local Drinking Liberally meetings, because unfortunately, the way my work schedule is consistently panned out is that they meet on a day when I'm always demanded at work.
Yep.
And especially at night because I'm in hospitality. At least, well, I was. Now I'm kind of looking to find a way to phase out of that if I can. And there's a lot of challenges. And, one of the things I don't think that a lot of people appreciate is that for people who have normal work, like day jobs, normal working jobs, doing stuff like this is difficult. And it's something that Lucas and I, up until the past 6 months, have made a point of trying to carve out that space in our lives, to where we could do this every single week. And then we had to slow it down, and we had to, and that's why we're now talking about changing it to an audio podcast, because it makes it so that we can do it at different intervals, at different times, that we can both meet and do this and not have it interfere with our work schedules.
But there's also a stability issue of, like, you've been in the volatile service industry, and I'm in the expendable marketing business. And it's always a question of, like, while you're looking for your next thing, do you want this to be a thing that's out there for people to decide they don't like you about? Or when you're new somewhere, how under the radar can you fly? Or are you so busy and burned out from just going to work and learning new shit at the beginning? So there's a lot in the mix. But the one thing that was very clear when I told David, like, in late October, I was like, hey, the renewal is going to come up. The price is no longer going to be half price for the platform. We're not really using it. We need to decide to take a hiatus just for that, if nothing else, because there's no way that you deserve to be hit with a renewal of like $200.
Especially while I don't have new income coming in. That would be.
There are other options. Sure, there are some good features in here, so we're looking at all those ideas. But for right now, the focus of like taking this bill off the radar and then sitting and saying, all right, what do we do?
But we do want to tell everyone that we are still, at least for me personally, and Lucas and I have talked about this. We are still committed to trying to find some way to keep brewing controversy alive, and the reason we are is for that same thing that drove us to start doing this in the first place, which was someone needed to say something, and we really felt that a lot of people around us weren't saying things that were important about what was going on, and especially to our peers, to everyone, and especially right now where we're at, there's still a lot of stuff that we really feel sometimes that people aren't talking about, and we just need to find a way, as you said, Shai, to moderate the point between burnout and being active contributors to the social space and to our communities and to the public at large, which we want to do.
And when I collectively
really
look at, like, David and I, when we talked about it, I was like, but I get a lot out of, in a positive way, my service in the neighborhood board, or I get a lot out of joining up with the American Advertising Federation board. I have been on the Makerspace board and will be stepping away from that to make the bandwidth for the AAF. And so there's these.
Lucas involves himself in way too much shit, is what he's trying to say.
Yeah. I'm trying to be cautious about spreading too thin, which was a habit I had a lot more of than I needed to. Thank you. It's been nice to see these little notes. And, part of it is we just haven't been able to lean into force it to grow from a business standpoint. Like, it's cool that we know people, we tell people we know, and we get like 80, 90 views on any of these just by not even knowing where that's coming from. And that's fine. But really, that concerted effort is very deliberate and very time-consuming to actually make something grow of this kind. And it's going to be an easier thing to contemplate doing if things shift in some ways so that we aren't living quite as much in an authoritarian hellscape where people feel emboldened to hold this kind of thing against people. So there's a lot of
that is a thing that is present, and obviously we don't want to put either of ourselves in a situation in which we're being pigeonholed or find ourselves like Lucas has what goes on in his world. I live in a deep red state, and luckily most of the people who would hold it against me are fucking morons and won't ever find this anyway. And now that I said that,
I was right, by the way. Bridget texted me and said the phone died. Those were the sounds of a phone dying live on a stream.
Crinkle, crinkle, crunch. That's what your last moment sound on your phone.
Right. Oh, that's weird. The music is doing a weird thing. Oh, there it goes. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to see what we do with this. But it was really fun to hang out and have the round table approach that we haven't really done much at all with that lately, and that was fun. I think there's also some interesting places to push some additional folks to be around. I still have that old commitment from the police chief to join in one day. So there's a lot of fun things that we might be able to do there. And we'll see where it all goes. Right now, I'm looking forward to winter mode and focusing on some of the other stuff. And then maybe even trying to talk this clown into coming up here to visit me since he has free time. And, we'll see what comes of that. So anyway, not totally hanging that up, but definitely.
No, we're not done. We're just retooling.
Big break.
We want people to know that.
Big breather without the responsibility of, oh fuck, we're still paying for that. And also the chasing around of the schedules. So always fun. Thanks to all the people that hung out with us, either on screen or off.
Absolutely.
It's kind of fun to actually have a mixed set of news to discuss for once. I'm even somehow grateful that Marjorie Taylor Greene gave us something different. So anyway, it's time to, at almost 4 hours, it's time to stop yapping and probably start napping. I've got a thing in the middle of the day I have to go to tomorrow. So anyway, thanks again, and we will see you all on the other side. And as always, we'll wish you good night,
Good evening, and
good
luck.
luck. You can always tell who's not a real drummer.